What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 365,000 of Mod Workshop. It feels like we have been doing so many of these. I love them. They're so cool, and I'm extremely excited. But before I get ahead of myself, let's have you introduce yourself so they know who I'm talking about.
What's up, guys? My name is Sarth. I am a mostly World of Warcraft streamer, so coming from a sort of old school game and the newer versions of that old school game, or re-releases of that. And I'm really excited to be here today because I am atrocious, notoriously atrocious, with building my PC.
So, you know, it's funny, like you and I have got to know each other. We're actually very kindred spirits because I waited in line when World of Warcraft launched. I've played WoW since I've actually got the OG sealed vanilla collector's edition as well as a regular one. So I've got every CE, like, and just like I love to have like my little panda and my Diablo that follows me around, and I've been playing the game forever. And then of course I've like stopped and jumped back in as like different times throughout the game.
As you do.
But now, like with Classic, it's like watching this whole new generation of people experience what we did at the beginning, and it's been super cool. And now we have Hardcore Classic as officially being the thing. And for people who don't know, we had Cat Spin because we were doing the whole thing with a gentleman who we had on earlier. You know what I'm talking about. Crix, yeah, we had Crix, and we were doing the cat, yeah, Crix, and so we were doing stuff with him, and so now we are, and you're right, like this is like you experiencing what I did at the very beginning of the game, and you guys were like thirsting for it, and meanwhile we were like, please get better, you know what I mean? Like it's stuff. But I mean, dude, WoW has been it's been a phenomenon for so long, and it feels like it's like everybody's returning back. Chris Metzen's back. I mean, WoW just in general is just, it's kind of coming back to a centerpiece again. So it's cool to have you here, and now we're going to make you as good at building PCs as you are at World of Warcraft.
And then I'm going to make you as good at World of Warcraft as you are at building PCs.
The good thing about World of Warcraft is you don't have to be good at it. You can just, there's so many ways to just enjoy the game. Mm-hmm. I was the auction house dude. That was like my thing, was all about auction. I think at one point in time, right before the launch of, Cataclysm, I think I had just crested 1 million gold across all of my characters, and it was all from playing the auction house. So like the big thing was I was just the guild bank, and so even though I still raided, we did raiding, and I used to play with some hardcore guilds and stuff like that. But I just loved the economy of WoW at the time, and then they started selling the gold things, and you're like, well, this is now pointless.
The little gold tokens.
Yeah, the little gold tokens. You're like, oh, this is what it was, going from there. But that's the thing about WoW, is WoW you can play it the way you want, and that's been such a good thing. Now, how did you get into WoW? Like, how did this whole thing, because like you have had, like, listening to your story, it is like literally you are the culmination of like different parts in a very interesting like form. So yeah, tell us that journey.
Thank you. So I started my World of Warcraft journey, let's say, I want to say in like 3rd grade. Right when the game came out, my brother had a PC. He built his own PC.
Okay.
And at the time, I was just the youngin' who was like, what's this? So right as WoW came out, he introduced me to it. And lo and behold, this was like a huge mistake for him because he had his PC in his room, and I was hooked. I stopped doing anything else other than playing WoW, leveling up my little Night Elf Hunter. That took me 19 days worth of real world time, like play time, to hit level 60, which is ridiculously slow now. But back then I was like, I'm good at this. So I continued. I just continued playing this one game that had me hooked forever until about high school, and completely stopped. And then right before COVID, it was the perfect storm.
Yep.
The perfect storm for gamers. Anyone that's playing any games knows about it. But WoW Classic came back out, and they finally re-released the OG version. And there's a lot of nostalgia there, and you wanted to have that original feeling. And everyone thought you couldn't recreate that. But literally it was like, well, now we're all working from home, so now we can. That's all we can do. We're just older and better at the game. And so then I got absolutely hooked on WoW again and started my YouTube channel and the Twitch and started competing. That's what really got me. I went from sports to competing in World of Warcraft.
So, like, tell me about that thing for competing, because a lot of people, I mean, I know there are people who run, like, one of the things I loved about BlizzCon is I found out about this whole competitive scene for what was World of Warcraft. So I remember going to, it was like BlizzCon number 4, right? And finally they had the dungeon runners, right? Who were like speed running dungeons and all that sort of stuff. How did you get into competing in World of Warcraft? Because it's not usually something you put together outside of maybe Arena, right?
That's so true. Most people, originally, the only competitive scene was Arena and fighting other players. And that's what I did back in the day.
Right.
Now I'm so bad at it, it's so funny. I'm so washed up at PvP now, it's so funny. It takes another level of skill and another way of thought process. But now there's also, the game has brought in a scene, or kind of the community built this entire scene around speedrunning, because speedruns became popular in every version of games. And so now what you do is your entire team, so it was for dungeons, but your entire raid team in Classic runs the raid as fast as humanly possible, and you try to get the world records. And so now, shout out to Noda, because I'm in the fastest and the best guild in the world. We consistently have all of the world records. And but it's funny because everyone that in WoW Classic that gets the world records is almost always EU. So my raid times are like nighttime for them, super early here on the West Coast. It's like very, very different. If I didn't do this for a living, it'd be impossible to play the game.
It's actually pretty insane, because I mean, you're absolutely right. Like, there is very little like renowned around North American guilds in World of Warcraft at all. It's almost like it used to be like the same thing when you think about competitive StarCraft players, and they were all overseas, like
in like Korea
and stuff
right?
like that. Yeah. So again, it's like, it's crazy how the EU. What do you think about the EU makes them better? What is it about us Americans that makes us not? Or is it just
the answer?
Okay, give me the answer, because this is actually a very interesting question.
I know the answer, and this is probably a hot topic. Maybe.
Guys, we're getting down into it today. We're gonna get like controversial on the Mod Workshop.
You're basically paid to play. If you're playing from the EU, you're pretty much paid to play. Social security there is amazing, but also just like unemployment is like a real thing. And I'm saying that, and people are gonna be like, that's not real. But trust me, I play with entire guilds of people, hundreds of people that are the best at this game. In our specific scene, and it's kind of the thing, like, and most people at EU would just be like, they're built different, but like, are you?
I mean, the other thing too is like, again,
different.
So you think it was just because they can devote so much time because of the support? We'll say support.
Yeah, let's say
support the support system that allows them to be okay. Well, you know what? Honestly, that's at least that's the first time somebody's had a real answer. Because
what would you think?
I mean, I think maybe like, is it like some sort of like they're wired different? Are they built different? Because they seem to be incredibly good at the game, but now you have to think about it. Like, I have met some of the world's best speedrunners in games like Elden Ring, and it takes an incredible amount of time. So you have to, like, it feels like yours feels like the most realistic answer, because to spend that kind of time, you don't have another job.
Literally. And it's interesting because in the retail version of World of Warcraft, EU dominated forever, and recently, and North American Guild is like usually kind of the best. There's 2 guilds that are competing, but there's a North American guild that's like the best, and it's because it's their job. Literally, they've made it so that the team's job is to compete for the world records and the world first, and that allows them enough time to devote all of their attention to it.
So maybe, I mean, this is like showing it, right? Like, maybe that's what. So here's the deal, guys. If you want to get into this, then we are just pay us, and we'll do it full time. And this is you doing it right now. Okay, so guys, not only are we gonna hear and be a part of World of Warcraft, but we're also here to teach this young gentleman right here how to actually build a PC. Because you're going to get better. Like, the whole thing is, his dream is to become a tech influencer. This is what he came to do. I just want to announce that this is my
new channel.
Your new channel. It's like, we're here today, and he is ending his career. I'm just kidding. No, that's not true. People are like, wait, what? Don't do it. Sarth, we are going to be building, actually, it's unique. We've never done this on Mod Workshop. We've always built pretty high-end systems, But when we had an opportunity to work with ARC, we were like, you know what? Honestly, we need to show people realistic budget level systems. Guys, the system we're building today is $830 if you were to buy the parts retail. Which, I mean, most people think, oh, I got to spend $1,000, $2,000, whatever it is. This is a great 1080p. This will absolutely play World of Warcraft at 1080p without any issue whatsoever. The other thing, too, with technologies like XESS and stuff like that, like you can play Cyberpunk, you can play Starfield, you can play lots of other games at 1080p with a system like this that won't break the bank. And then games like Fortnite, Valorant, you name it, like other ones are all going to be in there. And again, it has come a long way in performance. Like they have seen massive performance games, not just in like newer games, but also going back to DX11 and DX12, which is great. And again, this is $250 or less, and you get all of the latest visual technologies and AV1 encoding, which is actually super cool as well. All words that you were like, wait, what?
I was like, every time I think about like my GPU and CPU, it's like, oh, they're always sold out, and it's $3,000 resale on Amazon. And I'm like, this is terrible. Someone help me. I literally call friends and have them FaceTime help me usually.
I'm just saying, like, one of the things that, and people have been super impressed, like XESS. So there's a technology, and you may have heard of it. There's been a number of them. So there's DLSS from NVIDIA, XESS, which is the Intel version, and then there's FSR. XESS is open platform, which means everybody gets to use it. The Intel Arc, which is, like I said, $250 for something that's like a 1080p great gaming GPU. And so when you put these two parts together between a 12400F, which is the Core i3, it's like the lowest end. It is 12th gen, which is last generation. But again, these are still powerhouse value CPUs that you don't have to spend a mint on, that end up doing great pairs for less than $1,000, dude. And I mean, like, if people are going to get into PC gaming, you need something that's entry level. You don't need to spend $3,000, right? Because like you said, you started at 3, and all of a sudden it wasn't you, but then all of a sudden you had the gateway drug that got you to World of Warcraft. And we're all about getting people into gaming and starting the social system that lets us play games all the time.
Yeah, but if you don't play WoW, you probably shouldn't, because you'll get hooked.
That's a lie. Get into WoW, kids. You know, get into WoWs and stuff like that. So, point being is that I'm really excited about this. Let me show you the rest of the parts that we have in this for this $850 system, because not only does it cost not very much, but it also will look good. So we're using a Core i5 12400, the ASRock B660M Pro RS motherboard, which is a mini ATX, micro ATX MOBO. We've got the Intel Arc A750. We've got a 2 terabyte NVMe drive. So that means you can install World of Warcraft, and you can install
everything.
And half of COD. Some part of Flight Sim. But point is you've got a 2 terabyte NVMe drive. We've got Thermaltake Tough RAM DDR4 at 16 gigs. I'm assuming it's 3200 megahertz. We've got an S200 ARGB mid-tower case, so nice small case, won't take up a ton of room on your desk. We've got the Thermaltake UX200SE cooler, and then we've got the smart 600-watt PSU. And again, all of this stuff come together just at $830. We've added some custom cables. It takes it up to $850. And you're going to have something that looks really good. And the other thing, too, is you're going to see it's really simple. So simple that essentially Sarth can build it.
That's the hope, guys. So we'll see.
No, it's not a hope. You are going to succeed.
I can't wait to show you that it powers on.
I want you to look at this camera right now. Look at this camera. I want you to say, I'm good enough.
I'm good enough.
I'm smart enough.
I'm smart enough.
And gosh darn it, people like me.
And gosh darn it, some people like me.
No, people! All people like you. Oh, yeah, some people. That still works. I mean, that's better than no people, right?
That's
good. There's people who are here to watch it. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to show today that you are completely capable of building this PC. In fact, I am only going to do the cable management. You're doing everything.
Go. I'm so nervous, but I'm so hyped, actually. This is going to be really fun.
You should be hyped. This is going to be a lot of fun. I think you're going to have a really, really good time. So you do have some experience. Like, you have built PCs before. It just hasn't gone well.
It's taken frustratingly long amounts of time. And if I didn't have people, let's say, walk me through as you're going to do, I probably would have struggled a lot more. But I have done it. So I have some sort of experience, and I think that is going to translate today.
I think so too.
Hopefully.
I mean, Dan, if you look at it, I mean, probably like we have like this like keystone individual who's been put on a pedestal, and it's funny enough, you actually worked on the movie for this game, but Henry Cavill, like when he built it on Instagram, right? Like, dude took like, if you watch it, it started in the morning, and it was like middle of the night by the time he got the whole thing done. But, and the other thing too that makes me super sad is like when he put on the AIO, he saw it was rotated and he didn't know he could change it in software. So he uninstalled the AIO to rotate it when it literally just could have rotated in software. But point being is that if he can do it and he took the time, it's awesome. Like most people, it just takes a lot of time to do it for the first time.
Yeah.
But today we're gonna do it in 10 minutes.
Big kid Legos. That's what everyone always says when they're building a PC. It's just big kid Legos. And then you look up a video and everyone has a different Lego piece than you.
Yep. That's
the confusing part. They all look different, but luckily this Lego piece is under $1,000.
I mean, it's funny because some of your people are saying you should do the cable management. You need to learn the cable management. You have talked about this.
We had this whole conversation.
We had this whole conversation because your cable management right now, a little bit atrocious.
It is a wad of cables right at my feet. Like, honestly, trying to plug anything in, I have to go through and track it all the way and be like, what is this one? And before we were even doing this, before we were on earlier, we were talking about, I was asking you for tips for cable management. So maybe you can give it to everyone watching that knows about my cable management, but some tips to really just like make it better.
Well, I mean, you're going to see, we're going to show you today, right? Like when we do the build, we'll show you how to basically clump your cables. I mean, the cables that we'll basically do in the system today. But we gave you some ideas. Like all in all, like it just really what it is, it's about getting cables off the floor in the first case. When you look at my desk and you're looking at it from here and then my whole rig and all that stuff is up above, there's only one that like goes down and it's hidden behind a pillar, and that's because I got everything up above, and then we just basically use clasps and stuff like that to basically hold and hide it underneath. So and then the other thing too is it's just about taking your time at the beginning.
Yeah.
So and then like the other thing too is you can get super OCD and label everything, which also works really well. So if you get done, you're like, hey, oh, that's the cable I need to fix or whatever it was. So yeah, there can be the opposite problem where people cable manage so well, you're like, oh God, like some cable broke and it's going to take me 3 hours to get this
through the little
exactly or whatever it was. So it can also be a bane as well, right? Which is pretty crazy. But yeah, it is what it is. Are you ready to start building?
I think I'm warmed up. I'm ready. Mentally warmed up.
Yeah, I was like, what did you do to warm up? Like, tell me about this.
I was literally envisioning all of my cables. Unironically, I was having this full entire, I was like, this goes here. And I was like following the tracks of my cables in my head. That's not even the part we're at yet, guys.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to there.
We're going to get there soon.
We're getting ready to put the PC together. So if you want to grab the motherboard, apparently it's already out.
Haha!
There we go. Okay, so we got our motherboard. This is our B660. So it's the more budget level motherboard series for Intel. Given we're using a 12400, we don't have to worry about overclocking or anything like that. So that's why we're using this particular. It's just going to save you some money. A lot of people think I have to buy a more expensive motherboard to get more performance. Actually, most motherboards, the performance is actually the same between every single one of them. So people, unless you're going to overclock, you don't need to spend the extra money on the Mobo. And then it's going to look pretty inside that case, don't you think?
Definitely, especially with the cable management. But I honestly, this is like, it's a lot smaller. I didn't know that motherboards are very similar in like performance.
Yes, actually the motherboard, for the most part, really when you're spending more money, you're getting things like being able to do different water temps and stuff like that, having to do with water cooling or overclocking. There's actually little to no performance difference, and then how compatible they are with different RAM. That's it. So, but for most people, you're going to be able to buy a B660 and be fine. So if you want to pop it down, do you have questions about this? Like, is it now that you look at it? Because you were like, I want to understand. So I want to make sure that if you have questions, we answer them.
I'm not gonna lie, I was really proud of myself for grabbing the motherboard and being correct. Even though you pointed in the direction, I was like, this is the, and then as I was holding, I was like, that's the motherboard. I know these things. My motherboard just broke.
Yeah, I heard this story.
Yeah, I was in Europe, and then I came home, and my motherboard was like fried, allegedly, which is interesting because there's 2 PCs plugged into the same power strip. So it should have meant it needed to have like a surge, but like the older PC didn't have a motherboard fried and the new one did. Right here, the processor goes, right?
Yeah.
And it was, so I obviously didn't do anything, and then so I sent it in, and they said that it was a user error, but I wasn't even home. So,
I mean, that's actually, you know, when you told me that story, I was like, that's really strange, because I don't know how that would have happened, but sometimes life just gives you mysteries. So this is what we have. Okay, so what we have, and just to give you guys a little tour of what we have here on the motherboard. So like you said, this is your socket. So depending on the motherboard that we have, or the depending on the CPU, in this case, because we're doing 12th gen, we have an LG A750XX, which is literally listed here on the board.
Yeah.
These are the M.2 slots. You can actually see where they're labeled M.2. M.2 is your hard drive. So like, again, they're very, very fast. There's a number of different hard drives, and you've actually got 3 slots for M.2s, which is actually super impressive for a board that is this expensive.
Oh, yeah.
So you could actually do 2 terabyte, you could do a 2 terabyte, another 2 terabyte, and so you could have 6 terabytes of storage, and they actually have NVMe's all the way up to 8 terabytes. So you could actually have as much as 24 terabytes of NVMe storage if you wanted to. Why you would do that, I don't know. It's very expensive, but you have the option.
So you could download all of the Starfield mods.
Yep, exactly. So these are your PCIe connections. So you have one. This is they actually have different speeds. So the silver one here, this is a by 16. This is for your graphics card, and then you have like your smaller by 2 and by I think that's by 8, or it might be a by 4. But the point is that these are where you're going to plug in expansion cards. Like for instance, if you have a capture card, an audio card, all that sort of stuff is what you have on here. This right here is your 24-pin power. This is the thing that powers your entire motherboard, and this one is the one that powers your CPU.
Okay.
Now, most people think that you have to, some motherboards have 2 of these. You only actually really need to use 1. The second one is if you're going to do any overclocking. Given this is a B660 board, you don't necessarily need to worry about that. That's why there's only 1. These are your RAM slots. A lot of motherboards, let me see if this one has it. Yeah. Depending on how it is, like you may need to know, like, hey, you can only plug in a certain number of them, and there's a little map up here in the top corner that actually shows you where they actually go. So that's what that's for.
That's crazy.
And so you can, and because we're using DDR4, you can actually use all 4 in DDR5. You should usually only plug in 2 RAM sticks, and that's just because of compatibility things. We're not going to get into too much science there.
Okay.
This battery right here, that's your BIOS battery. This basically just any settings that you have on your motherboard, this just basically makes sure it's stored. So like when you go in there and you make sure that like, hey, my Windows drive is here and run my RAM at this speed, this battery makes sure those settings stay that way. If this was to die, then your BIOS would reset all the time. This thing will last for like years and years and years, not a big deal. Here, these are your SATA ports, which nobody uses. They're kind of SATA right now because nobody actually uses the ports. But these are for things like SSDs and hard drives. This is your front panel connection. So this is actually when you push the power button. This is what makes sure that when you press the power, the whole thing turns on. These are USB. And then this is your HD audio. And then the most important connection of all connections on here, you know which one I'm talking about.
The lights.
Right, that's right.
RGB.
RGB. So you've got your RGB, you got your 5 volt and 12 volt. You've got 2 of them on this one, so that means that you get lots of frames per second because we have RGB. So I think it would just be cool to basically make sure that when we're going to do all this stuff, it's giving you a general idea of like when we're doing things, why we're plugging them in, where they plug in, so that way, hey, you know what? I know what's actually going on.
All right, but before we whip out the processor, you've mentioned a word many times that as someone who plays video games but doesn't build PCs, actually doesn't know but should probably know.
That's okay.
Overclocking.
Yeah, okay.
What does it actually do?
So when you get a CPU, there's a speed that it runs at, right? And everyone has like what's called a base clock speed, and then it's got a boost clock speed. So think of it as like a car. Like most people, like when you think about you're driving around, you know, the town, you have your regular speed. When you overclock, you can actually take it's like tuning a car. You can actually get more horsepower out of your PC. In order to do that, you have to do things like there's 2 places you can do that. One is the BIOS, which is stored here, or they have a thing in this one called XTU, which is oh my gosh, I just forgot the name of it. The Extreme Tuning Utility, sorry. It took me a while. That lets you then go do things like say, hey, I want to run my clocks at a slightly higher speed. With that, it usually requires more power or it requires more heat. And so a lot of things generates more heat. So the cooling capacity that you use, whether that's an all-in-one liquid cooler or the little air coolers we're going to do, has to be able to dissipate that heat when I overclock it. So overclocking is literally just getting more horsepower. It's amazing how much overclocking potential you have on 12th gen and 13th gen CPUs. The only thing is you just need to be able to cool it adequately with things like custom water-cooled loops or all-in-one liquid coolers like what you've typically seen, which are like the little hose ones.
Okay, cool.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I've heard it many times before, and I've been too afraid to ask. I feel like this happens every now and then on the internet where you just don't want to admit that you don't know something, and for some reason, instead of just Googling it, I just let it slide.
No, and I
really appreciate that.
I think a lot of people don't actually know, and so one of the things that I love to have and do this show is like I want people to be able to ask the question. There is like a lot of times the only way somebody's going to learn is if they ask for the first time.
Yeah.
With this particular motherboard and this particular CPU, there is no real overclock potential. But anytime that you get a CPU and it ends with the letter K, that's when you can actually overclock your CPU, and then you'll need like in the case for that, you'll need a Z690, Z790, or for the future versions, Z890 or whatever it was. And that's what will allow you to overclock your CPU.
But today we don't need it.
We can't. This one is not capable of being overclocked.
Good.
So you don't have to worry about it. So,
because I would mess that up.
Actually, believe it or not, the cool thing about using the XTU, which is the tuning utility, if you mess it up, it automatically resets. So it says, oh, you've done something wrong. We're going to make it safe for you. So you can't screw it up. But it makes it fun to be able to play with it. Yeah. And it's actually, though, a lot of them with the new version of the XTU, not that it works with this one, there's an auto overclocker. So you just click something and it tests everything. It says like, hey, we'll automatically overclock your CPU for you.
There we go.
And then you get a little bit more power.
See? This is why we have the greatest here. This is why we learn.
Well, I want you to be able to, because it's like, believe it or not, you probably have a CPU that you might be able to overclock, and so you can
probably do.
You probably do.
I probably do.
99.9, probably 99.5% of people never do it. It is such a niche thing, and honestly, for gamers, guys, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a secret. Unless you're playing at 1080p, it won't matter. So. Sorry, I mean, like there's stuff to do, but it literally 1440p and 4K CPU matter. It's all about the GPU, and that's why things like Intel Arc and XeSS end up becoming way more important. So if you're playing above 1080p, there's really no reason to overclock your CPU.
Okay.
So just dropping the knowledge. Sorry, I know you'd love to know, but it just is where it is. Okay, so why don't you open this up? There's a little slot right here, and here's some skizzers. We usually have a razor, but I don't know where the razor went. So today we're going to use skizzers. Please be safe. We haven't had any accidents yet.
I have an irrational fear of sharp objects.
I don't blame you. I mean, I don't, right?
I cut myself as a kid once making a bow and arrow.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with having a fear of sharp objects.
All right. Scissors aren't bad.
So
here we go.
That's if you want to read the manual, it's intriguing. The only thing so this is kind of whack.
Okay. Before I do it wrong,
you're not going to do it wrong. It just takes a lot to get it out there because this CPU actually comes with a cooler. We're not going to use that cooler, so you do have to open that up.
Am I
from the bottom? Yeah, just from the bottom.
All right.
There you go. And then now you have to take that out.
Okay.
Just don't touch this thing right here because it'll get all over your hands.
That one?
And then now you can take it. You should be able to get the CPU.
The sticky part.
Yeah, the sticky part, which is actually thermal paste.
I knew that. Kind of.
Oh, so it slid out. Okay, so you didn't have to do that. Hey, I learned something. Okay, so
I could have just taken it out anyways.
You could have just taken it out anyways. Oh, cool. That's cool. You just did it anyway. So look at you, magician. If you want to hand me that back, we'll put this all back in here. Now,
I'm teaching you about this.
You are. Look at you being so educational. Do you know what thermal paste does?
Thermal paste makes it so that the connection between the cooler and the processor is airtight.
So that's good. That's good. So really what it is, when you look at a CPU at the very top of this, it looks like this whole thing is as smooth as it could be. It's like as smooth as a baby's butt. Actually, there's a lot of imperfections in there. So what Thermaltake does is it makes sure that basically there can be really quality transfer of heat between the IHS, this is called the IHS, and the CPU cooler. So it makes it so it's absolutely sealed, and then you can basically transfer heat. So you were 99% correct. It wasn't about airtight. It was
I winged it though.
You did good, dude.
Yeah.
You did good.
There we go.
Okay, so let's put this away, and we'll let you do the rest from here.
Oh, without instructions? Don't worry. Okay, guys. As you know, the next step would be, before I even take this out, to open up this port.
This socket.
The socket. Oh.
Okay, now let's have some fun. This is always a fun bit, okay?
Okay.
So what you can do is go ahead and take this out.
All right.
And there's a little arrow, but it's very, very hard to see. But essentially, you're just going to basically take it like this and set it right inside. So it is already oriented to fit in there right now. So just take it out just like that and set it in there nicely and gently.
Very, very gently.
Now, something that is fun about Intel specifically is that you can actually get this to, sometimes it'll jump like really high. And it's just a little fun game we play. So what you're going to do is you're going to close this just holding the left. Don't block it. Yeah, there you go. Now then just, oh, see? It didn't, sometimes it'll jump really high. Like we've actually had it like
pop all the way off.
Pop all the way off, which is fun. It just depends on the Mobo. Okay, so now what you're going to do is pushing that down, then close the rest of it. I think you've done this before. Cool. Just and then keep pushing.
You're always nervous that you're.
It's a lot of pressure.
Tight.
It's a lot of pressure that you have to go in there. Okay, so congratulations, you've now installed a 12th gen CPU.
Did it. I beat the PC game of life, and now I'm a pro. You're welcome, everybody.
But I mean, like all in all, like you're right. There's a couple things to be nervous about if you're doing this for the first time. It's a lot of pressure. You really do have to push that. You're not going to break it. And the whole thing is it's about making sure that all of the pins at the bottom connect to all of the basically the points on the back. And when we turn the CPU over, you'll see there's a LAN grid array, and those pins have to push into that, so that way it can put a bunch of the connections actually work. So that's why you have to put a lot of pressure.
That's why it's so airtight.
Airtight,
as they say.
As they say. Okay, you ready for RAM?
Oh, aren't I?
And why don't you grab your hard drive while you're at it too? See where it says P3? Perfect.
Yes. Okay, so you were describing this earlier, but the hard drive is going to go into the M2 ports.
Yep.
And we have 3 of them in this motherboard.
Yep.
And the RAM is going to go into these ports.
Into these, into basically the RAM slots.
RAM slots.
Okay, so do you see here, before we open that up, do you see here it's showing you which ones via the little diagram? You see that diagram right there where it says A2 and B2?
Okay, yeah, A2 and B2.
Okay, so you're going to unlatch this one and this one. That's A2 and B2.
Oh, it does because it connects to those specifically. Okay.
So those are 2 slots because we're only putting in 2 sticks of RAM.
Okay.
Oh, it actually looks like we're running 4400 megahertz RAM, not 30. So I was wondering where usually you run 36. That's usually pretty. So this is actually pretty nice, fast RAM. A little bit of overkill for a build like this. And then if you want to, you can go ahead and cut that open.
Geyser it up.
Geyser it up.
See,
Falcon is saying you can no longer call him in the middle of the days and nights.
That's false. Falcon is the person I literally do call for everything that happens in my PC. And I FaceTime him, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Black Reaper is actually bringing up something that's actually super interesting. Usually the main reason is that they're doing this is so you can activate dual channel in this case. And a lot of motherboards will actually have different colors, but this one does not. So again, the cool thing is they list it out and they just show a diagram on the board itself.
Okay.
And then let's go ahead and recap the parts one more time so people know what we're putting in here. So we have the Core i5 12400, sorry, not the F. I thought it was a 12400. It's a 12400 just plain. We got the ASRock B660M Pro RS motherboard. We've got the Intel Arc A750, Intel Arc A750 graphics card. We've got a 2 terabyte Crucial P3 NVMe drive. And then we've got the Thermaltake ToughRAM DDR4 16 gigabytes. It's 4400 mega transfer. We've got the S200 TG ARGB mid-tower case. For the cooler, we've got the Thermaltake UX200SE case. And then for our power supply, we're using the Thermaltake Smart 600-watt power supply. So again, the key thing here is we don't need a lot of wattage. And again, all the parts all together come out to about $830. So you get to do the peels.
All right, this is the best part.
It's probably just the blue, I think.
Oh, it is. It is. This is how you know something's... Look at how shiny it is.
Shiny?
Oh, it's shiny.
And then the other thing, too, that's cool about the RGB for this is it actually looks like it makes a nice X, which is actually pretty cool. So when you have 4 of them, it looks really, really nice together. So we got that one if you want to peel the other one.
All right.
Now this, guys, is a big moment. It's essentially... It's about the clicks. The clicks can be, and we've actually had some people faint because they have been so good. They are life-changing, this moment right here. It's very visceral. So I'm going to show you the way to do it to get maximum clickage. Now, on my show, we actually have like a little decimal meter to mount it, to
hear how loud the click was.
And the loudest we've ever had is like 106, which is really good, solid click, 106. And you as a music guy definitely knows 106 decibels is actually...
You're actually getting it,
yeah. You're actually getting it. So, so I'm going to show you here. Now, just so you guys know, when you guys are doing the installation for this, if you're going to follow along, and given this is an $830 system, many people probably are, there's a little slot in what's called the PCB. PCB stands for printed circuit board.
Okay.
So in the little slot here, you just want to match that slot with this one right here. DDR4 and DDR5 are a little bit different. Usually the way that you know is that the sticker will point towards the CPU, and you can actually see that it does it. So what you're going to do is you're going to go like this, just pop it in, like so, and then putting both thumbs, listen. You ready?
Yep. Ooh.
That was a pretty good one. Nice solid click, and then you know you've done a really good job because it's almost like both clicks happen together.
Yeah.
If you don't do even, you'll get like a click click. But that was medium in terms of the quality of the click. Are you ready for your chance?
All right, I'm a professional clicker. I click heads.
You're just competitive. You are competitive, and now you're like, I am going to be the best at this.
All right, but here's the thing.
Okay.
You are a professional clicker here, but we're going to find out. Ready, guys?
Hold on, make sure. There you go. Okay.
Oh, see, I got you.
No, yeah, you did.
I joked you. All right, here.
Ooh, that was actually really good.
That was almost as good, but it was less good, let's be honest.
That was still good.
I had no one to admit defeat.
No one to admit defeat. That was actually pretty nice. And the other thing, too, as I liked about it, is you went through it with a lot of confidence. Some people are like, you'll see them, and they'll be like, ah! Like Gina Darling was like, she was like, I'm going to cry. I'm worried I'm putting too much pressure. There are cases where if you put too much pressure, especially if you're doing it wrong, you can, like, break it. Mm-hmm. Guys, that's a very, very niche case, and more than like you're doing something wrong. But there, yeah, we got some people going in there. Ram click sounds so satisfying. Not bad, not bad. And then, whoa, that was a solid click. So good job, dude. You were like, just like your WoW career, you're like sitting on the edge, almost getting into #1. I'm feeling a little bit concerned about
that was a long time ago. Now I've gotten rank 1 in like every season. So. But whatever.
Humble brag. He was just like, you know what? I just want to let you know I'm #1. And then like meanwhile I'm just trying to define my space here. We are, guys, don't worry, we do have the iFixit kit. Yep, it's right here. So somebody was like basically calling out the iFixit. We got our iFixit ready to go. So we're ready to do our M.2, which makes me happy. If you want to hand me the garbage.
All right.
And then I will throw that away.
The RAM is just like aesthetically pretty. It's like, it's very pleasing. The like
it's I have to say, I don't know why. I will say Bento, which is the company that we do a lot of, they just have a real fascination with like the Panda builds, which is where you do black and white. So
yeah,
most cases you'd see black, but I mean the white actually sticks out a little bit. And you're right, it is a very aesthetically pleasing look to it. Okay, so now what I'm gonna have you do is go ahead and pop open the top there.
All right, M.2.
M.2.
Here we go, guys. As I miss the scissor. It's a right-handed scissor, and that's like a...
Are you left-handed?
Yeah, they're putting us at disadvantages here, okay? And
we just want to make sure, that I have all the advantages here when it comes to the PC build. Okay, so if you want to just pop it out.
Oh, if I were to pop it out, I would have lost one of the screws. The one screw.
Does this actually come with an M.2 screw?
It does.
Wow. Okay, so that's a rarity.
M.2, M.Who.
Dude, the smallest screws in the world, I'll tell you, man. These things are super tiny. So we'll just stick this over here. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna take your little iFixit kit.
Yes.
And you're going to unscrew this and this screw.
Why do you choose the M.2? Is it for aesthetic reasons, the one that's like hidden, or?
So there's two reasons. One would be this is actually got this is actually a heat dissipator. When we unscrew it, you'll actually see underneath it, it's got a thermal pad. So it's going to keep the temperature of the M.2 at the lowest point. The second thing is that usually the one that's at the top shares lanes directly with the CPU, which means you're getting the faster throughput for that particular socket. So that's the two reasons that we usually choose this one versus the other M.2s. The actual lanes are actually because of the chipset. So this is a B660, so this is a B660 chipset. This one usually is sharing it directly from the CPU. So this is usually the fastest slot.
So they're like, you have to make sure you take it off. Oh, there you go.
It's actually, there you go. There's your thermal pad.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to put it in our M.2 slot.
Okay.
That one's already pre-peeled. So just to let you guys know, here we have an M.2. On this thing is you'll actually see there's a split here. Again, printed circuit board. That little slot is going to line up with that little slot right there. So you just want to pop it in, and you should get a nice click.
Okay. Everything you click, but it's funny because with PCs, like you usually, other than right now, you buy things and it's like, that was so expensive. You want to like be so gentle trying to put it in, and then it's just...
And don't get me wrong, you shouldn't be like jamming it in like a dagger, but yeah, it'll give a nice click. The way you'll know it's in is it'll act like a diving board.
Oh, there we go. Oh, bing.
Yep, exactly. It's like if it was a musical instrument right now, if like you could literally like straight up like you know you'd be happy.
Bing, bing, bing.
Exactly, but you don't. Unfortunately it doesn't make any musical noises. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take that and put it right back on top, and then that thermal pad will take heat from the M.2 and then transfer it out so it dissipates via the cover.
All right.
And I know if many people are watching, they're saying, Robey, you're giving a lot more description for this than typically what we would do on a show. I think the main reason being is that this is one of the first mod workshops where more than likely people will come back and watch this and follow along, is just given the cost. Because I mean, a lot of people, they'll sit there and be like, wow, a $3,000 or $3,500 build or a $2,600 build, that's a lot of money. This is an $830 build that other people can replicate. I wish we could show you guys benchmarks on this. We definitely have done this on Robeytech, so if you want to go and do a search on that, lefty loosey, righty tighty, buddy.
I'm glad you also saw that, because I was like,
I gotta call you out. I mean, again, we're gonna. So just so you guys know, when we get done with this, we're gonna do a competition where we're gonna go play World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore, and we're gonna race to see who gets the highest in the amount of time that we play.
Yes.
And I know, I'm just well aware that when I get to this, I am not going to win. And so it's, wow, people really, like, I know that it's like your hardcore death is like a big deal. Like the fact that it happened, like I'm seeing that clip come.
Yeah, no, I have a hardcore death, guys. It's a real thing, okay? It happened. I lost a 1v1 to a wolf. And I did everything you can do to live. I used a health potion. I gouged it, which basically like incapacitates it for, I think, 2.5 seconds at that level. And then I band-aided myself, and I lost. The wolf literally had a vendetta against me.
It was like an OP wolf.
Yeah.
Right? Overclocked wolf. It was like it knew you were not going to be overclocking this. It was like, dude, you're going to fight an OC wolf.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Okay, so we've got our M.2 in. But anyway, I'm explaining a little bit more because, again, so that way people can follow along. So if you want to follow along with this video and build this exact same system, I want to make sure you can. And the other thing, too, is you walk away understanding what actually happened. And honestly, hopefully we're teaching you a couple things as well.
Yeah, I'm feeling like very refreshed on all of the pieces. I feel so far that I could do this myself without having to rewatch this video, just from your explanations. And the explanations I know you usually don't always get into them, but as someone who doesn't usually build PCs, it's really helpful knowing the reasonings behind.
And that's why I want to explain it. Now, we get to put the cooler on, which is something that's very different. That's not something we'd normally do before we put the motherboard inside of the case. But you have your choice. We're going to let you make the aesthetic choice. You can use a black or a white cooler. Your call.
I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys in on a secret, but I am black. And I'm also half white. Oh! You never saw that coming. Did you? So our build is going to be half black, half white.
I didn't even know where to go with that. I was like, what? I was like, I mean, I was just making you like choose a color based on how it feels. You're over here calling. I was like, wow, okay. I was like, I was dumbfounded. I was like, I don't really know what to do with this right now.
I wish I would have looked at your face.
I was just like,
I was like, this is going to be the most
I was like, yeah.
Off the wall thing I could say.
Okay. There we go. That's one way to choose a cooler. Okay, so you actually over here, believe it or not, dude, you know what I found?
What?
The razor blade, so you don't have to be so scary with the scissors.
I actually took that off. All right. No. All right, how do I do this without dying?
It's a button. So right here, push this in. There he goes.
Haha.
It's a very nice blade, by the way.
It was a literal razor like this that I cut myself on as a kid. And
actually, I have to say, I'm in agreement with you, Falcon. The white cooler with the white RAM is actually going to pop a little bit more. Now that we actually have white RAM, it's nice to have something that actually matches it.
It's the Panda build.
It is. It's a Panda build, so we might as well just embrace it all the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and take everything out. What are you cutting?
Should I not cut?
There really was tape. I've never had to see somebody cut. I was like, what is he doing? But never mind.
Well, let me take everything out first and show the world
why you were doing what you were doing.
Yes.
And guys, do not eat these. These are not good. These are not good to eat.
So we have tape here on the cooling system. Just to keep it nice and fine. You can barely see it a little bit with the light.
I was like, what is he doing? And then now it makes way more sense. Yeah, you should totally cut that.
All right, see. All right.
Look at you knowing what's going on.
But I'm just ripping the tape off, actually.
You were just like, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Whoa.
This is our cooler.
That looks
awesome.
And
the cool thing is like, well, it looks like we're not going to have any thermal paste. Also, you see on here, if you did not pay attention, there is actually plastic on here. If you do not take this plastic off, your temps would be terrible. So just as an FYI, we're gonna have to definitely take the temps off. So coolers are built of a couple things. So first one, this is like basically our fins. The way this essentially works is that you're going to, because of the thermal paste, you're gonna transfer heat to these heat pipes. And then these heat pipes go through these fins, and these fins, as air blows through them, will help dissipate the heat. It's one of the cool things is thanks to the folks at Cooler Master, I actually have a version of a cooler that has a chameleon paint. So as it heats up, the color changes, and you can actually see how the heat goes through the entire cooler. It's actually very cool. Now, if you have a really nice cooler, you'll actually see that heat transfer evenly, so this will actually all change the same color. So it's amazing, like the technology, because of the heat pipes, these will actually transfer heat very effectively. Given that we're using a 12400, you're not going to need a lot. You don't need something super powerful, but it's very cool to see this. But this is actually the thing that will actually take heat from your CPU and then dissipate it. If you don't have a fan, it actually still does a pretty good job. And there actually are things like called passive coolers that you don't actually need a fan to be very silent. We're going to put a fan on it because it's got RGB, which means it's going to do better.
Yeah,
because
it's always better with it. If it looks cooler, it's always better.
Yeah.
We're building a spaceship here.
We are. So if you want to grab the bag, let's take a look at the materials we have inside of here. So we're going to figure out how to do the mounting for this. Guys, the one thing I will say, never be afraid to look at the instructions, okay? It is okay. Wow, okay, so this is your thermal paste. We have other thermal paste, so we're not going to use the weird, we're not going to do that. That's just
not that thermal paste.
It's just
get out of here.
It has nothing to do with. It has everything to do with that will be harder. Let's make this easier for you. You could. Well, you know what? Actually, let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and pretend like we're new. So we're gonna use the stuff so that way somebody doesn't have to buy their own to follow along. Okay.
Okay, making the build even cheaper.
Yeah, keeping it cost. So let's look at this because I've never used this cooler before. And we're going to figure out, we're going to look at instructions because even as somebody who's built literally 2,000 PCs, it's all a little bit different here. Okay, so what we're going to do is you are going to take this. Okay, and you're going to stick it on the socket. So just put it down, just like that. Yep, and let's see, it goes up and down. Okay, cool, so you've done that right. Now you've got these little plastic bits in here. And these go into the holes and clip into those holes down there.
Oh.
And then just give them a solid push. They should just clip in, if that makes sense.
Okay. Good.
Oh, hold on. Wait, actually, I just saw something. Something that it says it goes on the outside for LGA 1700 and the inside for LGA 15. So we want to make sure that they're on the LGA 1700. So they go like this. Okay, so we're going to go and put these in.
Okay.
So go ahead and put those on the outside. See how there's 2 slots?
Yes.
Just like that.
I was trying to put it directly down
I know,
the middle.
and that's why, this is why we look at the instructions, because I've never seen this mounting technique. So again, just showing this to the camera real quick, if you want to show that to them. So as you can see, on the outside, there's 2 slots, and on the outside of those slots, there's an outside and inside. He's putting them on the outside, and then now he will basically place these, so these little latches will be north and south. So go ahead and pop that, and then you should be able to kind of push them right into those slots. So give them a good push. They will go into the circles.
Oh, 1 in, 1 and done, 2 and done, 3 and
Awesome.
4.
Okay, so once you do that, now what you're going to do is you're going to then pop this on the inside of each one of those holes, and then press it all the way through, apparently.
All the way through.
Yep,
done.
just like that.
Oh, that's really easy, except for...
And that's going to separate, what that's going to do is it's going to push it out.
The first one went in so smooth, and the second one also went in so smooth. I feel like a pro at this.
You're doing good.
You know, building PCs are easy, guys, and we show you that here on Intel.
And then let's go and go to a top-down camera real quick. What you guys now see is that what we have is you can see the 2 latches are north and south, and then on the cooler itself, you'll see these little clasps. So these are going to clasp into that, is what we're essentially going to do, and that's how it's going to essentially lock in. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to take your little thing, so we're going to push this down. So you're going to take your thermal paste.
Okay.
And then you're going to see there's a little rip right there. You're going to rip that top off.
Rip.
Okay, cool.
All right.
No, don't squeeze. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to squeeze, take all the thermal paste, and I'm okay with doing it all because you want to make sure you get enough. You're going to go ahead and squeeze it and then put it.
Let's see if I can. All right.
And then kind of, if you can, you're going to want to go actually more like, if you can, just go a line across all the way across the top as best you can.
Okay, we're gonna see when it starts coming out, which is, oh, it's coming out up there. All right.
Okay, good. Well, that's okay. So it's, again, you're just going to try and get it. So here's the deal. You want to try and get as...
I'm only getting through the top.
It's only going to come out of the top. It looks like it's got that little slot right there.
Okay. That's actually purposeful then.
Yeah. There you go. And just kind of spreading it around. So the main reason being is because of the size of this. Yeah.
Painting.
That's good. Okay, just go ahead and paint it like that. That's good. Don't do it. Okay, cool. Now, this is actually okay. You might look at this and be like, that looks like a mess. The whole thing is that the unlike other sockets, you actually want to cover the entire, as much of the CPU as absolutely possible. When we actually put this on, this will then spread out, and so it's better. A lot of people say, hey, do the dot method. Actually, the ideal one is to spread and cover the entire IHS, but because we only have this to do that, we're going to do our best to just try and do it with what we have in a rudimentary way, and then once there's pressure, it'll take care of the rest.
So I did it.
You did. Okay. You did good.
That part I was like, I might have messed that one up, but you know what? Maybe I didn't.
Maybe you didn't. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this.
Okay.
And then you're going to take these little latches right here.
Okay.
And you're going to put those on the fan.
Where?
So they're going to go on the front. So go ahead and pick up the fan. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this, and this, like this, will go on here. into each one of those. And then go and grab the other one.
All right.
And do the same thing.
Latched up and
okay,
good to
cool.
go.
Now, what you're going to do is you're going to put this, and you see how there's a little clasp right here? You're going to place it on the front like that, and then you're going to take that little metal and pull. Pull until it latches. Pull down. Sorry, pull down.
Oh, okay. Let's...
Keep going, keep going. And eventually it'll click in.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There you go.
I keep getting nervous that I'm going to like break it if I put too much pressure.
Nope, you're not going to break it. Okay, so now we have our fan mounted. Now the last part is peel this. Because it doesn't, I believe it or not, that's really hard to see, but there is actually a peel on there.
And
Okay?
people can forget that.
People can forget it. If you do not do that, it will not cool. Okay, now this thing is going to be interesting. So now what we're going to do is you're going to set that right on there.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Now this,
Kind of.
I do not know. I do not quite get yet. So apparently this moves.
Oh. It goes like, all right, look, I'm teaching here. It hooks around.
Yep. And now you're going to do the same thing on the other side.
All right. I'm the pro here. Although I'm not, because it has to go really, really down. I'm going to let you check that out really fast before I continue doing the thing that I thought I was right.
You're right. We're just going to do the other side first.
Okay.
We're going to disconnect this one. And then do what you were going to do on this side first. Oh, this one doesn't have a latch. I see. Okay.
That's why.
We're going to latch this on. I'm going to take a little bit of practice here.
Big kid Legos, but every Lego piece is different.
Yep, it's always a little bit different, and you're right. Let me see. Let me use a light here. It's got a little hole, but see when it latches. Okay, I think I got it latched. Come on, grab it. Latch there. This is always a little bit. There we go. Okay, now it's latched. Now go to the other side.
All right.
Go ahead and do your
Teamwork makes the dream work. And, oh, I need to go so much further down. I wonder,
should.
I don't think it goes any further down.
It says 7. We got that latch. 7, press out and then down. Oh, you got to really push, dude.
That's what I was saying. I was like, this is real pressure.
There we go. Okay, so that like clips on. So it's like a clip. Okay, so just so you know, like this whole metal part bends. So it bends down so it can clip, and then
Oh,
it's
yeah.
flipped. Yeah, so there you go. So just to show you, and then you could do this and take it off, but we're gonna leave it on there. So it is all clipped in. That's a little bit of power. So you basically clip the back in, and then what you do is you then let's fix this too. Isn't quite all the way. There we go. Okay. So then once you get that, then you'll clip down, and then I'll show you side view here. See how there's like a little bent metal here? See how this right here? This actually bends down to make this click. So there it is though, but it's on. You're good.
There we go.
That was it.
I had the right idea. The ideas were there.
No. That was new. This is the only time I've ever used this cooler, and it's a very unique cooler installation. But it's actually pretty simple. It's toolless, which is the thing that's so crazy about it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to hook up our 2 cables. Okay, so this is your CPU fan cable. This is basically here. You're going to plug it into this one that says CPU fan right here on the top. The main reason you plug it into this, the reason is this header is directly tied. It says, based on how hot my CPU is, I'm going to tell this fan to spin faster.
Okay.
So that's why I plugged this fan into this, is so that way this fan will spin faster based on how hot the CPU is.
Okay.
Okay? So that's going to plug in right there in the CPU fan.
CPU fan getting connected.
There we
Yep.
go. Perfect. And then this is RGB.
All right.
And it's going to go right there.
Does it matter which one?
Yes, it does. Well, no, actually, it doesn't. They're both, yeah. No, either one of those will work.
Look at that.
Just got to make sure you're lined up. Okay, so two. Yeah, there you go.
I thought I had thought about that beforehand too. There
Cool.
we
Perfect. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a zip tie because we don't want to have any cable showing. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this and we're going to create essentially a little like mass of cables here.
This is how it's done.
Okay, so just like that. So now we have our little mass of cables.
Okay.
And then we're going to take our zip tie and do this. Just like that. Okay, and then we should have, maybe we don't. Okay, this is not ideal. Now what we're going to do is cut this right here. And then what we can do,
Just hide in there.
yep, just
Goodbye.
tuck it in. Sometimes the best thing to do is just remove this real quick.
You do that so that you have a second chance at the click.
Yeah, that too. You know, it's just you get bonus for doing it all.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're gonna do is just gonna hide all of our cables up in here. Now, because the main reason I'm having to take this out is I've never used that cooler before, so I didn't know how it was gonna work. By doing it this way, I have a very clean looking cable set here. There you go. Oh, there they are. Perfect.
Here we go.
And there you go. See? And now that is all hidden in there. Now, because this is white and not black, we don't get to see, it's going to be a little easier to see than typically, but I'll let you click in the other one because that way you get the joy.
But it's fine because it's right next to the RAM, which is also white.
Yep, so you won't be able to see it, but again, we're just kind of hiding that cable.
And
Pop open that clip there for you.
there we go. Playing
And
operation.
there you go, and give it a solid push.
Oh,
Nice.
there we
That
go.
was a good-
That's
that was a really good-
redemption time.
That was a really good click.
All right. That's why we did it that way. We wanted a round two. You could have hid the cables normally, and you just made me feel better by letting me have a second chance.
It's
I really appreciate that.
It was all my plan. It was all my plan just to make sure that you have a better experience in general. Okay, and now you guys see here, look from the top down, all you see is that like one little set of cables, and it looks really, really clean. And we have the cooler is now done. So guys, we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break, and we will be back. And then what we'll do is we'll then get everything into our case and go from there. So we'll see you guys in 5 minutes.
Strength extraordinary.
What is up, guys? We are back. We now have an entirely built motherboard. And yeah, and the other thing, too, is we were talking off camera a little bit during our break. You enjoyed, like, now you feel like you have a better idea of, like, what's happening.
Yeah, it feels, having you explain why I was putting certain pieces in each one of their respective positions really clicked in my head as I've had someone do it for me before, where it goes. And I feel like now I can literally just go by myself and be able to put things in like this.
Outside of the fan.
The cooler.
The cooler's
Yeah.
a little weird.
The spaceship.
The spaceship. It is a little weird. But guys, it looks pretty good. Believe it or not, if you're following along, you're like, okay, Robey, you know, we're like, what, 2/3 in? Guys, we're probably halfway done with this build already in terms of where we are. So next step is we're going to prep the case for getting everything in. So let's just scoot the motherboard over here.
Okay.
And then what you're going to do is go ahead and grab your case.
Okay.
And then now we're going to just start removing all the panels. So we're going to get this down to like the base level. So if we're going to go to take care of remove those screws, just so you know, they're not captive. So they do fall out, we found out. oh, that was smart right there. You're just making sure the tempered glass just didn't. Okay, go ahead and take this off.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
Okay, and then next one, we're going to do the back panel.
Which is here?
No, right here. So
Okay.
these two. Yep. Perfect. Put those right here.
Here we
Awesome.
are.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead and slide that off.
Aha!
There we go. It's ready. Okay. Now, if we could remove this, we don't need to. Let's go ahead and take the dust filter off.
All right.
It just comes right off.
Oh.
There we go.
Aha!
And then, just for the sake of making the case a little easier, and we want to show people, if you wanted to remove this, just go here, pull at the bottom, and just pull as hard as you can. There's a
Here?
little, yep, pull. There you go. And that takes care of the front cover.
Nice and easy.
Nice and easy. Okay, whoop. Except for when you drop it. Okay, so now our case is pretty much ready. What we're going to do is, if you want to look over here at the back, wow, that is... Dude, feel that. That's like
When I was moving
like
it,
super
when I was
light.
moving it, I was like, no way.
That's like crazy light. I mean, again, so
barely feel it.
Barely feel it. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and remove the zip ties right there. I mean, sorry, the twisty tie.
All right. This is the part where it's like, all right, we need to focus.
Oh, it's not so bad. But yes, we will. You are right. Like, this is the part where we just gotta. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Okay, so these are all our screws and everything we need. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and lay it on its back.
Which is this way?
Other way. Sorry.
All right. Yep.
Yep.
See?
Yep. There you go. And then kind
Aha.
of twist it towards you. Okay, so now we're gonna put in our motherboard backplate. There's a motherboard backplate right there if you want to open that up. Awesome.
There we go.
Perfect. Now, one of the things I like to do, just to be safe, is if you look at these, like some of these things, like if you have, is I'll take these little metal things and I'll just fold them. Because the other thing too is, like, a lot of times, like, things will get stuck, especially for USB slots. So anything that's like this, I'll just fold them under. You don't need them. They're gonna be fine, but it's just a little bit. Sometimes they'll cut in, so this way you just don't have to worry about them cutting in. So I'll just fold them. I'll do that, and then they're just flat across the back, so you don't have to worry about that. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this, and you see how there's that like nice square right there, and you're gonna put it in, and you're gonna press into each corner. You will hear a click. You just got to give it a good solid.
Yes.
It can be a little whack.
I'm gonna get it. Almost.
Almost. Just push. You'll hear it clip. And then once the first couple corners go in, it goes in pretty quickly.
Okay, there we go.
Yep.
I think it's in.
I think this corner might need one more. Nope, it's not quite in. There it goes.
Haha.
Yeah, like I said, give it you will know because it'll be completely flush when it's in there. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is you see how you have these holes, and there's a little peg right here. So all of these little holes are gonna line up with the, whoa. Something that we were not ready for, but we're going to do anyway. this does not have the standoffs in the right spot. So if you want to go down to the top camera, see how it says MA? So we actually have a micro ATX. This is set up for, it looks like an ITX, not a micro. So we're actually going to have to move some of these standoffs to where they say MA. So we're going to grab the, oh, there it is.
Here we go.
Perfect. And then, there we go. So I'm going to have you do this. And if you could see where they're listed as A, these A ones, go ahead and remove these two A. They're gonna be kind of hard to twist.
I'm used to twisting lefty loosey, you know.
Yep.
I do it on the regular.
Kiwi, it's funny because the case actually doesn't have it actually has like not the standoff how this is installed. I'm not entirely sure. It's just a little bit interesting. Okay, so there we go. So we got those two, and then let's see. We should have some more in here, hopefully. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, so we have some more. Pour these out. Okay, so now what I'm going to have you do is we're going to move these to the right spot. There's another one there. There's another one there. Okay, cool. So now I want you to take this one there.
Okay.
You're going to install that right there.
MA slot.
Yep. You're going to put it right there. There we go.
Perfect.
Robey, how long have you been? I have been playing WoW since it launched. Yes, I've been playing WoW since day. Well, actually, prior, I actually played in the beta too.
The original beta?
Yeah, the OG beta.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I've been playing WoW for a really long time. And like I said, I actually have every CE, including I have both CE, every CE, both open and in retail sealed. So we've just been collecting them forever. Then I even have some of the old WoW collectors cards too, which has actually been pretty from the TCG.
I had a teacher in high school that got the Spectral Tiger mount and was trying to sell it to students for $1,000.
Yeah, you're gonna stick this one in.
Yeah, that's a real thing. I totally remember that.
So my buddy Kevin
in the A,
in the one they got right there, the one run right here.
Oh, okay. M.
Yes. M, yeah, in the M. Yep. My buddy Kevin, who is one of my best friends, he actually has a Spectral Tiger mount. He got it he bought a whole box of the TCG and got one inside the box. I have like the X5s, the rocket. I have the
Love Rocket.
Yeah, the Love Rocket. I have the fishing one. I have a bunch of we bought a lot of TCG stuff. And then let's go ahead and put this one right. We got 3 here. We're gonna put that one right here. Go ahead and put it right there.
This M. This.
Yeah, the second. Yep, that one right there. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay. Now we have all of our standoffs in the right place.
There we go.
That would have been a step that a lot of people probably would have been like, wait, what? That's something that people don't check, and it's just worth checking. I don't know why the screws were the way they were. There was not enough screws even for a normal ATX case. The other thing that's super interesting about this case is check this out. You know what this is?
I've never seen this one before.
This is called a PC speaker. So back in the old days, I mean, a lot of days, these would actually come standard on PCs. Now you plug this into your motherboard, and if there's an issue, it'll actually make beep sounds that you can tell you based on the beep code what is actually wrong with your PC. So in the case of now a lot of days, now what they have is they actually have little LEDs on them that'll tell you what's actually happening. But before the LEDs, they actually had a little speaker. You'd be like, oh, beep, 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 or whatever. Then that's how you'd know what was actually happening, which is pretty funny.
Little Morse code.
Little Morse code.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you can take this and pop this in. And, and it should line up with the obviously those will pop out at the back, and then also line up with the screw holes.
Okay.
I like it. You're a pro.
Okay, getting close. Okay. Lined up in the back, lined up with the screw holes.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, now get ready for the most fun you'll ever have.
Let's go. No way, this is a real thing. It's for fencing.
You know its name? If you're going to guess.
A swing.
It's Excalibur. We call it.
No way,
we
really?
call it
That's
Excalibur.
epic.
It has been around forever. Like we actually got it on like the second episode of the show, and every person has got to use it. But welcome to Excalibur. It's like one of the joys of actually getting.
I feel so blessed.
You do. You are blessed. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to use. It is magnetic, so it should be anyway. I think it's been a while. So you're going to put a screw in all of the different corners.
Oh yes, Excalibur. I don't even need to be in the same room to make this PC anymore.
Yeah, we're just all. It was all part of our COVID strategy.
Safety. Yeah.
There you are, sir.
Thank you.
And I'm just going to find the other screws. And if you're watching, following along, the screws you're looking for are the little ones that have the little rim around the outside. That's how you know you're using the right screws.
Excalibur makes this so easy.
Actually, having a big screwdriver like that actually really does help.
It's wildly convenient, and I've never thought of this before, but this is so epic.
We try to give you a good experience. Okay, I'm like sitting there watching. I'm so fascinated by you using Excalibur. And I'm like, oh yeah, I got to find the rest of the screws.
Yeah, I'm so quick with this now.
There you are, sir.
All right.
2 more for you.
2 more. All right, let's go. Excalibur.
Now it's speed building.
Yeah, it's blessing this PC with its power. Now it's just gonna be the goated PC.
Dude, honestly, it's funny because like a lot of people think, oh man, I got to spend thousands. This is a very, very good rig for $830, right? So
Yeah.
There you are.
The ability to actually literally build a solid PC for a very, very affordable price is so nice. And it's something that I think most people inexperienced with PC builds, myself included, never really thought about, because the first thing you look at is all of these really expensive, like, what's the best GPU?
Right.
And then you go to like a friend who's like, no, you're spending way too much money.
You're spending way too much money. And again, you're
Vanity.
like, and then just, like we'll have somebody be like, oh, I bought an RTX 4090 and a 13900K and 128 gigs of RAM, and I'm going to play Valorant at 1080p, and you're like,
Yeah, it's
dude, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, you could have spent like literally a third of that and actually had the frame rates that really matter. Yeah, dude, you got to use Excalibur. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and remove this screw right here.
Okay.
Coming out. Oh, dude, it came out. No.
No.
It's going to fight you.
You know, Excalibur's.
Excalibur.
Oh, it's really. Yeah, there you go.
Excalibur's like.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, dude, nice catch. Okay. Oh, and then by the way, one of the things that's actually really nice about the iFixit is that you can just use that to hold screws.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead and pop this off.
Okay.
I think it slides up. It doesn't pop
it
out. Does it pop off?
Does slide off.
Okay, cool.
Bow.
Boom. Okay, now what we're going to do is, you see this, if you look at the thing, you're going to follow this over, and so you're going to need to remove this, and I think it's just one. Is it one or two? Oh, well, here, why don't you open up the, no, let's let you have the joy of this. Go ahead and cut the
Cut the cord. All right. Here we go.
our arc. Look at you with the unboxing video.
Look at that. Guys,
Boom.
check that out.
There it is.
The Intel Arc.
I have to say, it's a very, very pretty GPU. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove these 2 screws.
First, I just want to show this off.
All blacked out. I mean, that's one of the things I really, really like about the A750. It's just a very pretty card.
It's just going to complement our Panda deck
Yeah.
so well.
So well.
Okay, top one.
These 2, yep, top 2.
All right. Oh, I think they're... No.
Find out.
This might all be one thing.
Ooh, this might be one of those wacky ones. Okay, well, let's go ahead and take those out, which is good. And then what we'll do is we have to bend them.
We have to bend them?
Yeah, you have to bend them out. This is one of those cases not very expensive, and so by the way they save money is that they don't have to worry about the tooling. What we're going to do is you're going to just do this. Yep. And then you're just going to bend it off.
Whoa.
And then do that one.
All right. Avatar the Last Case Bender.
There we go.
Oh.
2. Okay. Now take your card, uncover your little slot there.
These bad boys.
No. Sorry, this one right here.
Oh, this bad boy.
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay, so now what you're gonna do is you're just gonna, and honestly, this is where your height helps so much, is you're just gonna line that right up and then slot it right in.
Perfect.
That looks really good with that PC, with that.
Lined up and.
You just line up and then give it a good.
And then.
Yeah, that's it.
I think it's.
Yeah, that's it. That's all there is. That's all there is.
Right.
Now go ahead and take your screws, those 2 screws you took out, and go ahead and use those to fasten it back in.
Okay. Swoop. Excalibur, come here. Come hither.
Come, fine sir, and please do your best to get this in.
All right.
Rightio. This is the best way to do it. Can you do any other voices?
I'm not. I probably can, but at the moment, I'm not sure.
Are you straight? You're straight. Let's see. Can you do any other accent? Listen, can you do French?
So that's one of the hardest ones. Je parlez-vous français?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we got all that. Okay, ooh, this is going to require 2 cables. Luckily, we have a second one, so we're going to
Double time.
Double time. Okay, so I'm going to grab. Let's have a little fun here. I should have.
Look at how sleek the arc is. It's just like fit in there perfectly.
It's a nice clean. Okay, so now what we're going to do is you want to go ahead and close the box up.
This box.
Yeah, sorry.
I was like, which one?
Which box? There's so many boxes. Okay, so we got that. There's our arc. We just put this off to the side. This is an Intel Arc build. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to put together our custom cables. So we have a couple custom. Oh, let's do purple and white here for this instead.
Haha.
Okay, so what we're going to do is this is just so we can, and then from there that we'll basically have the whole front of the PC done. But before we do that, you should remember that little cover. There it is.
Yes.
Pop that back on there. And then here is your
screw for it.
Yep.
Perfect. There we go.
Okay, so what I'm going to have you do is what you would do is you would say, okay, I'm going to plug this in like this. So we need to put a couple of these on this. You want to just make sure the horse heads are facing up. So the way this works is you just go like this. It just pops in across just like that. Okay? You want to put those 4 on.
All the way through?
Just, yeah, you can put it all the way through or whatever, but we just need to get 4 on.
And is this just for the aesthetics of the cable?
Yeah, this is all. This is just it's keep it together and just aesthetically make the PC just look that much nicer.
Got it. You know, you just got to have the horse heads on there correctly.
It's just the brand. But the other thing too is if they're some people put them in mixed directions and then it just looks weird. And you know, this PC is obviously going to get some get some photos and stuff like that. So we got to make sure it looks good for its pictures.
That's true. You're right.
So how did you get into streaming? Because you've actually had an interesting career. You haven't always been a streamer. At one point in time, you were an assassin for the CIA. You worked for Kim Kardashian at one point in time, right? Like, wasn't that a thing? No.
Yeah. I was friends with her friends. That's by leeway, I think, by Osmosis Jones. That's basically the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. No. Seriously, how did you get into the streaming?
Well, it all started with WoW, which we've talked about quite a bit. But when WoW Classic came out, I at the time was a ghost producer for a lot of the biggest DJs in the world.
So what is a ghost producer?
A ghost producer, if you don't know, is someone who writes music or creates music, yeah, and then you sell the songs to artists, and that artist will then release the song as if it was written and made by themselves under their name, and you get paid to do that. And a lot of people, it's like the underbelly of the music scene, but outside of electronic music like DJs, technically it's just the producer usually, but DJs get famous as like a personality a lot of the times. So I was doing that, and then COVID hit, and all of the artists wanted you to be in the studio with them. and you couldn't really do that if I was living where I was, Arizona.
Right.
So I kind of had to take a step back from that, and I had just started streaming, and then I just decided, let's see how this goes until COVID's over. And luckily, some of you guys watched. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. I had a lot of fun with it, and we're still here.
And then, so you got into it, you started streaming. Tell me about what are some of the biggest streaming moments you've kind of had so far?
My biggest streaming moment ever, and this is the coolest thing I've ever done, is we announced currently the biggest thing in World of Warcraft Classic is the hardcore scene, which is, like we mentioned earlier, if your character dies in game, it's just done, it's deleted. And it was a community built thing. One of my friends, Cargos, really started it and like made it popular. He didn't fully start the entire scene, but he completely made it popular. And so popular, in fact, that I was hosting a speedrunning tournament on hardcore, and the head of World of Warcraft Classic, the lead game dev, was actually able to come on that stream and announce that Blizzard was officially making a real hardcore supported realms. So it's now a game mode, and it is one of their most popular game modes. But that was the coolest moment ever, is having that happen, seeing that, and then also seeing my face on the launcher for the game that I grew up playing as a little kid was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever done.
That's awesome.
Ever.
Until you built this PC.
Until this moment, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that is going to plug in right on the 24 pin. That's, again, it's going to go the other direction.
All right.
Just like that. And then this is, again, remember, this is what powers your entire motherboard except for the CPU.
Okay.
And you just plug it in we'll route it afterwards. Just plug that one in. Cool. There you go. Nice solid click.
Oh, it does. Did it click?
I thought I heard it click. Maybe not.
Yeah, let's say.
We'll check it again when we get it all twisted in and stuff like that.
Okay.
Next one. This is going to go into your 8-pin slot right there.
8-pin.
And this is just what these two things are what bring power to the GPU.
Okay. There's an 8-pin and a 6-pin?
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay, so then you're going to go and take your 6-pin and plug that in next to it.
Perfect. 6-pin is in.
Okay, now what we're going to do, I'm just going to lift this up. And then I realized, you know what we haven't done, guys? We have done none of the front panel connectors. But, hey, everything else is plugged in, so that's fine. Okay, so what we're going to do is do this. Route that down there. And route this down here.
The custom cables look so cool. I didn't even know that was a thing.
They do. They just give it like a little bit of extra personality, so it just it'll look a little bit cleaner when we're all said and done. So there we go. So we got those in there, and then the other thing we just
and then this guy.
Just pull that through and just leave it nice and straight, and then we'll be good there. Okay, so now what we got to do is we got to route all of our front panel connectors. We got like our GPU in and all that sort of stuff. So everything's like, I usually don't do it in this order, but for some reason I just decided to skip the front panel. So now we just got to get caught up on do our front panels real quick.
You're just so nostalgic about your gaming days.
That's pretty much what it is. Okay, so now all this stuff has got to get plugged in because it's kind of important. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to route this stuff into the right place. So first thing we have, this is your front panel connection. So this is on here we have our reset switch, we have our power switch, we have our hard drive light, and then our power plus and minus. So those are the cables we have right here. So this one is going to route right, if you want to put it right next to this purple cable right here.
Okay.
Right inside that little hole.
Okay. Haha.
Perfect. And just push it all the way through.
Okay.
This one right here is your HD audio cable.
Okay.
This is basically the audio right here. So this is so when you plug audio in, this is how it gets through the PC. And then this one is going to go right here.
All right.
Slip it right in there.
You just know exactly.
Just a lot of PC building after.
That's true.
Yep. Okay, this is your USB 3.5, and this. Okay, so you had to see where that one was. This is going to actually route right behind this and then down.
Okay.
So you're just going to kind of push it down. Perfect. Okay, there's that. And then I think the rest of this is just your fans. You don't have anything else. This is all your fan stuff. We'll work on that here in a minute. So when you're working on when you're showing off a little hardcore, I'll be doing all the cable management to get all that stuff hooked up.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm gonna have you do is we're gonna install these cables at this point in time. So this one, this is gonna go right in here. It goes straight down. You see there's a little lip right there?
Yeah.
It aligns with that little lip. And you wanna go straight down at it. If you don't, you can bend pins, so you just gotta be careful. Let's give it a solid push. Perfect. I heard it click.
Perfect.
Okay, so this one, this is your HD audio. This is going to go in the far left-hand corner right here. And see how there's a filled pin? That filled pin, you can see it only goes one way. So the HD audio is going to basically face up. And again, it's this one right here.
All right. HD audio. Yeah. Yep. All right, cool.
Okay, next.
All right, perfect.
Next up is these. Okay, so this is always the. So most modern day cases nowadays actually don't. There's just one connector for this, all this stuff. But this one, unfortunately, we're gonna have to hook all of these up. So I'm gonna plug in the first one.
Okay.
And then you can use that as a point of reference for the rest of them, if that makes sense.
Got it.
Okay, so I'm gonna plug in the first one. This first one is the power switch, and it goes on these two pins right there. So next to this, right underneath this one, is see where it says reset switch? That's going to plug in right underneath that one with the text pointing up, if that makes sense.
Up.
So the text is facing towards the top.
All right. This is where you get.
Yep.
This is where you're playing operation.
Yep. This is the only one where we'll kind of have that, and now a lot of them have gotten rid of that stuff.
I
Yep.
did it one
And
over,
let me see where did I go. Move it over real quick. Okay, you need to move one more over left.
Perfect.
But yeah, you're close.
You know, I was just trying to make sure you were paying attention.
Well, you pointed out. You said, "Hey, I did it one more over from yours." Okay, now next to that one that you just plugged in below, right, is the one that says there should be two pins to the left of it. That's where HDD, the HDD one goes.
HDD LED?
Yep, and it's going facing top. Yep.
From the one I just plugged in or the one you plugged in?
The one that you just plugged in, so it'll be right next to it.
Got it. This is the part where being left-handed makes it harder to see.
Dude, I would say I would agree with you on that one. That's actually makes it a little bit harder.
It's funny because that happens with writing also. If you're left-handed, your hand will touch the paper and it like smears your writing.
Oh, wow.
It's something that like most people don't notice.
Okay, and then the last one is the plus and minus. So plus goes in the left, and then minus goes right next to it.
Okay. I'm going to do minus first then.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit easier.
Minus. Oh, I have a watch on. So pointless at a time like this. Minus. Okay, all right.
And then plus goes right next to it.
Plus with it facing up. Okay.
Got it? Let's look.
You tell me.
That is good. You got it all. That looks great. So we're just going to push all these cables down now. We'll fix that later to make it look pretty. And this is going to go up and under. Okay, so now we've made things kind of look better. We'll make that look better here in a minute. Okay, so now all we have is now let's figure out our fans, which is this giant mess.
But by this point, it would turn on.
Nope, because we have no power.
By this point, it wouldn't turn on.
we have to get the power on. That's the only thing we got. The only thing we got left is power. Power. Once we get the PSU in, and then after that, then we'll be ready to turn it on. So now all we're doing is getting all this stuff out, and then we still have to put one more fan in, which is the rear fan.
It's the best one. It's the most important fan. Everybody knows
it is
that.
pretty important. It's the one that gets all the hot air out. Okay. And luckily, they gave you all the splitters and stuff like that, so it actually this is going to make this really easy in terms of hooking it up. Okay.
Perfect.
So we should have two. So what we're going to do now is you're going to take that little black piece off.
Okay.
Okay. Then you're going to plug that into that one. Make sure the arrows are lined up. Perfect. Then take that little black one off.
Got it.
And then you're going to plug that one into that one.
Okay. Swinging. Almost. I could not be a doctor.
There we go. Okay, perfect. Now what we're going to do is you're going to route this right through here. Okay, that's what that's going to route. That's for the other RGB. Okay, and then now we're going to take this right here. And this, I believe, let's look real quick. Where's our fan headers? Trying to find our our fan headers. Okay, it looks like we got one right there and one in the top left. Do we have any at the bottom at all? Wow, okay. They did not give you a lot of fan headers. Okay, so we're gonna go up here with this. This is gonna go up here. Okay.
Okay, the top one.
Yeah, it's gonna go way up, which is interesting. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, flip this over. Now we'll cable, don't worry guys, we will cable manage this. Okay, so this, we have this one right here. That is gonna plug into the gray one right here next to it.
Next to it, got it. Okay. Here we go.
There we go, so that, now all of the RGB for the fans is now plugged in.
Almost.
Almost, once you get that in.
Yeah. And boom. Now all the RGB for the fans.
Now the RGB, there you go. Now
there we go, the best part.
This one is gonna plug in right there.
Okay. Oh, I see it perfectly. Speaking to me. All right, fan 2.
There you go.
Almost.
Almost there.
Yeah, almost. There we go. Haha.
Cool.
Okay.
So there's all of our fans. I really find it impressive they only gave you 3 fan headers. I mean, they gave you all this M.2, but no other fan headers at the bottom. It's actually super weird. I've never seen a motherboard that has so few fan headers, but it is what it is. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to put in our rear fan. So we got a rear fan right there. Do you want to grab that?
Yes, I do.
And then we need our cables. I mean, our...
Which way does it go?
So...
Which way is in?
So it goes, so it's going to go that way. So the back goes towards the back of the case. Ooh, shoot.
Got it, like this. Okay. If you don't know aerodynamics, that's the back.
That's the back
of the fan.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up like that, and you're going to pop that in there.
Oh, just put it in.
Just put it in, and then I'll hold it while you use the screwdriver to screw it in.
Okay.
This.
Our handy dandy Excalibur.
Yeah, this one you can like literally do it from the other room at this point in time. Oops, let's put this the right way. Oh, good job, Robey. I put it in backwards.
Newton's 18th law of fan directions.
Of putting it in wrong. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yes.
There we go. Okay, cool. Now we got it in right. Getting that put in.
Cables all coming together. More dead. We're almost there.
We're almost, yeah, we're trying to get this, okay.
One more fan and power.
Yep, that's
and yeah, okay, cool. I was like, and I think that's it.
Now, you might be looking at this going like, Robey, you know, this looks like you guys are doing a lot of work. You know, what is happening with this PC? Like, is it going to basically, is it going to Sarth? Is it going to you, Robey? Like, what's happening? No, actually, guys, we're going to be giving this PC away. In fact, the PC that we're building right here is going to be given away to somebody, one of you who's out there. Not today, But if you want to find out more, you can follow at Intel Gaming, or you can check out intel.gg/discord. Both of those are going to have the information, so you could walk away with this PC. So just stay tuned for more information on that. Wow, nice catch.
Thanks.
More information on that, and then you can actually build a, the beginning of, you can basically build the beginning of Tech when he, before he launches his new tech channel, right?
Yeah, my new channel, this will be the first thing from it that I've ever built and given someone, guys. So you could have a piece of history.
Yeah, the beginning of the beginning of the Tech legacy is happening right here. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we're just gonna untwisty tie these. I don't know, man. I don't like twisty ties. I mean, they do a good job of bundling, but I do not find them convenient.
Never. How do twisty ties always seem to like go in two different directions?
I don't understand.
When you get them, it's like they wrapped it like this, and then halfway through we're like,
it's like
gotcha.
And like, what about the ones where like they just they flat out break, and you're like, why are you even breaking? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, and okay, so remember those ones we were daisy chaining all together?
Yes.
That giant mess around here somewhere. Okay, here it is right here.
That was for the RGB of the fans.
Yep, this is for the RGB of the fans, which is very good. Good job remembering. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do is take that off.
Got it.
Plug that into that.
All right.
Okay, there we go.
Perfect.
So there's that. And then lastly, there on this little connection right here, see how there's a little, this is going to plug into that. And that takes care of all of our fans.
Oh. Fan action complete.
Okay, guys, now we're doing this a little bit different than what I typically do. What we're going to do is we're going to get this all done. We're going to essentially get the PSU plugged in, and then we will turn it on to see if it works, right? This is how a new person would typically do it. Once it's done, then we will stop, and then we'll go back, and then I will, while he's doing some gaming, I'll finish all the cable management, and then he'll come back and we'll do the final turn on. But we're going to show you, just like you would normally build a PC, what you should do, which is hook everything up. Don't worry about cable management, because if there's anything we need to troubleshoot, we're going to essentially do that. So we're not going to put all the case things on or anything like that. It's going to be the ugly turn on, and then we'll do the nice turn on once we get everything completely finished. So let's grab our PSU.
Boom.
Boom.
Thermaltake.
Which is what most of the parts here today are actually mostly Thermaltake.
Here we go.
I'm going to hand me the box, the stuff. Okay, so.
Okay. What should I keep?
You're going to keep all that's attached. So it's not a it's a partially modular. So actually, it's good to actually have this. So we'll keep that.
Okay. And this is the bubble wrap that you give to your friends. Say, hey, have some fun.
Yeah, go pop.
Go popping. It's a popping time.
Okay, so if you want to untwisty tie that.
All right. The power cables are like the thick ones. These are the real thick ones.
Yeah, these are like this is why we also used cable extensions, so you don't have the ketchup and mustard cables.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what I'm going to have you do is we're going to have you take that and we're missing, it's in here.
The zippies?
No, I'm looking for this, which has our PSU screws. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take that with the fan pointing down.
Okay.
Fan pointing down like this. Like that.
Okay.
And you're going to slip it in here.
Okay.
There's going to be the cable here. You got to kind of
wiggle right by. Okay. Oh, okay.
And then just pull it up. It's always like a forced situation here. It will pop in. There you go.
Okay. And
boom.
Power.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to lift it up.
Okay.
There we go. It's not heavy because the case is still so light. So go and grab Excalibur over here.
Swing.
Okay, I'll jump over here. Here's your power supply. Oopsie, I got it, okay. Whew.
Never lost a screw in my life. How many screws have you lost in your life?
You know, honestly, in the number of builds that I've done, I don't think I probably would count it like maybe on one hand. It hasn't been a ton. Like
That's
in terms
so
of builds,
impressive.
we've dropped. I mean, like again, it's probably because I build all the PCs like right there on a live show. So losing one is I've dropped a ton. I usually drop at least one, if not two screws per stream. But I haven't actually lost any. But it's still early in my career.
When building PCs before and like on the phones with friends, they're like, "Okay, so where's that screw you put down?" And I'm like, "What screw?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Which
You didn't tell me to put a screw down. You didn't say that. That's not a thing. You're a liar."
Right. And then I get to the end and I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're right. It was." Or like the next day, it's just rolling around the floor.
Like, oh, you're like, what's that screw from? Okay, so what I'm gonna have you do is we're gonna take this and I'm gonna put it in right. You're gonna run it right there, and you should see there's a plug for it.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, you might have to come around for that one.
Guys, you get to see the back of my head, and you say, "The back of your head look ridiculous." Okay, which way does this go? Those are down.
These are the ugliest cables we have.
The little orange.
Yeah, the yellow.
And yellow. Okay.
You get it?
CPU cable is in.
Okay, awesome. Okay, next one on the list is come back over here now.
Yeah, we're back.
We're back. So you've got everything ready to go here. This one is going to plug into here.
Okay. This way?
Yeah, just like that.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, and now this one, so you guys can see that. So that's what we plugged in. We plugged in this into the cable, the big 24 pin. And then now down here, we got a couple. So you're going to take this one and this one.
All right, 8 and 6, right?
Yeah, 8 and 6, and you're going to plug that one in.
Okay, this is
Flip it over. There you go. Okay, and then the 6 is going to go right into that one.
the custom cables really so you don't have to like thread these through and make them just.
Oh, let's switch this one.
Okay.
One of these does come apart.
Which one pops off?
Actually, hold on. Let me see something. Nope, it won't go on without it. Okay. This does come apart. It's just you got to figure out how it comes apart. There it goes.
Haha.
Okay, there you go. Now you can do your 8 inch.
Okay.
There we go. And there we go. Okay, so we've got everything plugged in. We're going to leave it in ugly mode.
Ugly mode.
Ugly mode. This is what you would do if you were typically going to do this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just take a power cable here. Okay, you can, if you want to, plug that in down into your little power strip down there.
All right.
Hopefully there's, looks like it's good.
Here, I'll go.
And what we're going to do is we're just going to bench. And then from there, what we're going to, if this works, then we will, afterwards, what we'll do is we'll take a breath. We'll take a quick break. He'll set up for some, will it fit in the one right there? The big
This
one?
one?
No, in the back.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, is this one on?
I don't know.
I don't know if this one has power. Oh, it should.
Okay, yeah, let's give it a go. Okay, here we go, guys. Okay, go ahead and hit the power button. This is just to see if it works. If it works,
This one?
Yep, go ahead and push it.
Let's find out. If I don't get it right.
The other thing too is like we're not sure if the power strip.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the power strip's on. That's that. If it's not right, that's it. Are you ready for my first ever power on button? Did it do anything? No.
No.
I think we don't have power down there. 1 second. This is not actually my fault.
Try one more time. Hit the power again.
Oh, see, correct. It wasn't my fault.
Okay, so what we know, guys, is that the PC works. It has power. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back in like 5 minutes. 5 or 6 minutes. We're going to get him onto World of Warcraft. And now what my job is to now make it all look nice. So we're gonna do the cable management, all that sort of stuff. And then once that's done and we come back and do the final turn on, do the peel, add the sticker, then we'll go and do our race.
Yes.
See who can get the furthest in the amount of time. But yeah, so far PC looks good. We're going to come back after a quick break and get things started.
And I'll show you my world.
Yeah, show you his world.
Of Warcraft.
Strength extraordinary.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. We are currently getting everything all set up to get ready for some hardcore WoW. He is here, but we are just basically getting all the PC stuff and stuff set up. As you can see, my job now is to take what was this rat's nest and turn it into something that is a little bit more appropriate for a mod workshop type PC. But again, one of the things I actually really appreciate specifically with doing this PC with Sarth and the team here is that we actually kind of showed you what would probably be a best practice in terms of making sure that your PC worked. Now, there's two ways of doing that, right? There's the way that we just showed you, which is like where you just kind of shove everything in, and then once everything's kind of in, then you can sit there and spend the time doing cable management, and once you verified it worked. Or you can do what's called, which is where we basically bench it, where we build the whole thing on the motherboard, verify all the parts work, and then once we verified that, then we put it inside of the case and make sure. One of the things that's nice about doing it this way is that you can make sure that you have no shorts or anything like that, because there are times, specifically in certain cases, where you might have a little bit of a short in the PC case that's being caused by the PC case, and this is your way of troubleshooting that without having to go through then again and completely redo all your cable management or undo all your cable management because something was one particular part wasn't specifically functioning in that way. But you can already see we're already making a big difference in terms of how this PC looks just by going through and doing the cable management. Now, I do want to run through the parts real quick one more time in terms of what are the parts that we have inside of this PC. So, because again, this is $850 build, we're using an Intel Core i5-12400. We've got the ASRock B660M Pro RS. We've got an Intel Arc A750 GPU, Crucial P3 2 terabyte Gen PCIe M.2, a 2280. That's just the length. We got the Thermaltake Tough RAM XG RGB DDR4 at 4400 megahertz. We got 16 gigs. This is 2x8. For our case, we got the Thermaltake S200 TG ARGB mid-tower case. And then we've got for our cooler, the Thermaltake UX200SE, and then the Thermaltake Smart 600-watt PSU. And again, all in pre-tax, this PC would cost just shy of $830. We also have a couple some custom cables by Asia Horse. You could pick these up for an additional $29, taking it right to around $850 when it's all said and done. Now, what I am doing and what we're waiting for right now is that the team is getting everything set up for him to start playing some World of Warcraft, which he is very excited about. And while he is getting ready for that, I am just basically getting all of our cables cleaned up, so that way what we have is a much cleaner PC build. Now, when you think about doing your cable management, for me, it's all about creating clumps. Now, for this, because we have so many RGB cables, I'm going to create a clump of RGB, and that way, if there's any troubleshooting issues or anything like that we need to find, it's easy to be like, oh, it's in this particular clump versus doing everything else. So that's what we're working on right now. Is I'm just working on getting all of this kind of clumped together, and then we'll rehook it all up. And then once we're done with that, we'll come back in, and then we'll start doing that speed run of World of Warcraft hardcore. So that's what I'm working on right now, is just getting all of this stuff kind of clumped up. Now, this should, if everything goes well, which I expect it to, this should end up looking a whole lot cleaner when we're all said and done, versus the little bit of a rat's nest we had a little bit earlier. And I'm going to work on, once I'm done with this, I'm going to work a little bit more on the cable situation that we had with, I'm also kind of moving some cables around and stuff to make a cleaner situation also for the fan cables, etc. And I did find some additional fan headers I just didn't see when I was hooking up stuff earlier. So WoW ruled my life for the better part of 2010 to 2012. It still rules a lot of people's lives, which is actually the crazy part. But it's a very, very popular game, and it's cool to actually have a chance to actually get to play it here on the show today. So, and you know, by somebody who's as good at it as our man really is. Okay, so I'm just gonna get this last bit plugged in here. Just trying to make sure all our cables are done. I don't know if I accidentally unplugged some things. Okay, I did. I have one more to plug in afterwards. This is for the RGB there. Okay, that takes care of that. And then next, what I'm going to do is I have everything ready. So this is this right here, I'm going to go ahead and zip tie up. This is all of our, that's all of our basically all of our RGB now under control versus what we had before, which was a giant nightmare of a rat's nest. So, okay, there we go. So that's all done. What we have here, this is our little bit, this is so we can plug in our last two things. There is actually I did find out, if we're going to a top down here, we did find out that there actually is a fan header series right here. So we're going to be able to plug that last fan header in just a few minutes, which should be good. Feels like they're getting closer, guys, to getting ready to show some gameplay and, like he said, be part of his World of Warcraft. Or, you know, it's funny because like when he first said that, I was thinking about singing part of my world from Little Mermaid, but it was not Little Mermaid, it was World of Warcraft. So, okay, so we're just getting this cleaned up. Oh, you're back.
Am I back?
That's what I've heard. How are things going on over there, buddy?
What's up, guys? I'm back. Things are going great. We're set up over here, and just as a little homage to what we're going to do, because what we will be doing is a race and hardcore leveling in the Dwarven and Gnomish zone, which I've never played still, ever. I've never done it. But just to get ready and to get used to a PC with no add-ons whatsoever, I'm going to be leveling up a little fresh warrior in the human zone, just because it's the easiest. It's like the most nostalgic zone in World of Warcraft, and I'm just going to level up this little bald guy named Sarth Bald, because one day...
Such a creative name you've come up with there, buddy.
One day I'll get there. I figure one day we all kind of get there. I guess with technology now, not really.
I don't know, Matt. Maybe not. Like maybe that'll be something by the time that we're at that point. Like you and I don't have to worry about it. Like it'll be solved. You know?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, look at us. Okay,
I mean, we are. I mean, we have very nice heads of hair. I must say.
Yeah.
You and I, it's not an issue for us right now.
We got it all set, but I'm really excited.
We got it all set.
I'm really excited to see you playing World of Warcraft again, since it's been a minute for you.
It has been a minute.
And you're gonna. I'm curious if our little race today like brings back the itch to play this game again for you, because I think so many people started their real gaming journey and like aggressively gaming with World of Warcraft.
I have to say, the game has always been installed. I've never not had a subscription active. My subscription is still active. Like, I continue to give Blizzard my money. Is that financially responsible? Absolutely not. Is it what I'm choosing to do? Absolutely. And I'm going to pretend like there's a real reason for it, but I don't really have a good one because I don't really play the game, but I always want to be able to have the option to at any moment. And there have been times when I've been like nostalgic and then start to get in there and be like, oh, this is going to take a lot of time.
Yeah, that's the one thing. It's like if you ever get away from it, it will suck you in, but it just takes so much time. That's the one aspect of the game, but it's so alive now with the new hardcore mode, where these realms are literally, I just logged into this character and there's probably like 30 plus people just in this starting. There's actually maybe more. It feels there's always a fresh supply of new people playing, because if their characters whenever they die, you just go again. That's just the motto. It's like you go again, you go again, you go again, until you eventually make it to 60, and then actually people are dying at 60 because all of the guilds are trying to actually complete the raid.
Yeah, actually do like real stuff. You know what I mean? Which, I mean, you think about it. The game, I mean, having the hardcore mode is actually pretty cool, and I absolutely agree. I think it's a really cool thing that Blizzard found something and made sure that the community felt supported, because, like I said, it was a very, very active portion of the game that the community had kind of built. The thing that's so insane, though, is that WoW was not ever meant to be like a permadeath experience like hardcore mode in Diablo. So, like, when you think about Onyxia or AQ or Ankharat or any of these really crazy classic dungeons, they were meant for, you know, guilds to basically bang their heads against until they basically got the next level of gear and then moved up. And now, like, you know, people dying, that like sets you back a tremendous amount because they can't just res them. It's over.
Yeah, there's literally some fights in the raids where the mechanic is that someone dies. And so you have to find creative ways to actually get out of that. And it's kind of one of my favorite things about this game is finding creative ways to like get around anything bad happening. But there's some fights where people have to use their Hearthstone, which basically sends you back to your like set hometown. And if you get targeted by the boss, there's the second boss in the second main raid. Actually, if you get targeted by one of his abilities, if you don't Hearthstone out, I think it's 40 seconds, but that might be just a really bad memory. But if you don't Hearthstone out and log out, your character will die no matter what. It is like an unescapable, there's no way to get around it other than hearthing and logging out. And
wow, really?
Yeah.
And somebody had to solve that.
Well, luckily we knew about it before the hardcore mode, but hardcore would be a wild bloodbath if we didn't know so much about the game. I always say the hardcore mode is probably, it's like 10% skill. It's honestly like 50, maybe even 70% knowledge. And as long as you know what's scary in the game and what can kill your character, then it's not impossible, but it's a lot harder to die. And then there's a little bit of luck as well, where random encounters, like my friend Crix, who you did a build with before, he didn't know that I think it's like every 4 hours or like every couple days, a random boss can just spawn in this area that he was in, and he was talking to his chat, and then he was almost level 60, and he was talking to his chat, and it just spawned on top of him, and it was over. There's like nothing he could do at that point. It's too late.
Wow, really? Oh, that's like such a brutal way to to go out too. You're just like, well, that was fun. And I mean, there has to be something to be said. You have to have one of those mindsets that you're okay with it's like a roguelike, right? Like you just have to try and try again until you actually succeed, right? And there are some people who haven't succeeded yet. Yes,
I mean, I think the success rate before hardcore mode officially released was like, it was like 95% or something like that of people never made it to level 60. And right now, people are going on their like 10th, 20th, 30th characters just trying to make it all the way. And it is easier though, because the official hardcore realms aren't what's called solo self-found, which is a thing that you can do in Diablo also, where your character can only use items that you found yourself. But now in the official realms, you actually can trade with other people. So other people can get level 60 and give you some gear that can make your character a little bit stronger.
Oh, so you can twink.
Yeah, you can absolutely twink out. And that's what's been happening for anyone that's dying at level 60 in the raids right now. They're just like leveling up with fully decked out geared characters. And people are kind of like helping them level really quickly.
Yeah, because they need it. Because in order for you to be able to do whatever the next raid is, right? Like that, it also takes a very special person who is like willing to go not only do that, but potentially have to level from 0 to 60 to get a second chance at basically running that raid, which is, when you think about it, pretty dang crazy.
It is. It takes so much time also. I mean, most people that are in the top, there's two main top guilds in the hardcore scene. But most people in the main one, Frontier is the name, and most people took like 2 weeks off on hardcore launch and just spent their entire lives leveling, which is like so reminiscent of video games releasing. It's like the best feeling is like you just take time off and hang out with your friends in Discord and just play the game. And then, but after like spending something like 6 to 9 days worth of actual real life game time to be able to hit level 60 and then to die, you have to just do it all over again. It's so time consuming.
It takes like I said, it takes a certain mental ability to be able to do that on a consistent basis. Because, I mean, I'm guessing some of these people, like you, may have a number of level 60 characters because of, you know, or like, you know, have essentially will have done it 3, 4, 5 times so they can be one of those world's first. Now, what dungeons have been cleared on hardcore right now?
Right now, they've already, I think it was like week 3, they cleared Molten Core in its entirety. They're working on Blackwing Lair is 7 out of 8 down, so it's just the last boss, which usually requires, it has an ability as the last boss is spawning, where he does a flame throughout the entire raid, and you need an item called the Onyxius Scale Cloak. You need to be wearing it, or else if you're hit by that flame, you die no matter what also. So it's another mechanic that like is just completely punishing. And there's technically ways that you can hide. There's a throne room, like a throne in that room that you can technically hide behind, but we don't know if you can hide behind it on the hardcore realms. No one's tested that. So it wouldn't be worth it for the entire raid to just like try to get a little bit more gear by hiding behind the throne room. So that boss has not been down just yet until they'll have all the cloaks. It shouldn't necessarily be a scary fight for the raid. And they've also gotten, unless they went in today, which I might have missed, I think that it's 3 or 4 bosses in Naxxramas, which is the literal last raid in the entire game. The goal is to kill the last boss, and I myself was gonna be on that journey, but in the other version of WoW Classic, now that there's 3 versions of World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King is still going right now, and they're going to be releasing the final raid in Wrath of the Lich King on October 12th worldwide, and my guild is going for the world first of that. So that was announced an hour before the launch of Hardcore. So now that's where all of my attention has gone.
Yeah, you basically want to drop Arthas and ICC.
Yes, exactly. I want to defeat the Lich King, and then I can go back to leveling up my hardcore journey and get back into those journeys with my friends and like the raids. Because the best part about hardcore is, I think it's the social aspects. It's the best part about World of Warcraft. I don't know if you have like very fond memories playing with your friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like that's why this game is so popular. It's just playing with friends and having a good time doing that. And so hardcore is literally all based around that. But it just takes a long time to level up. So once we finish with Wrath of the Lich King defeating Arthas, hopefully we'll see if the raid hasn't already dealt with all of the bosses. But I anticipate I won't have, or I anticipate by the time I'm up there, the guild that I'm in will have completed the entirety. But everyone's going to still play. It's going to be a lot of fun for a long time. There's longevity in hardcore because no matter what, people are always dying. It's like every day there's new clips of people going down.
Yeah, so. Like these people, like at some point in time, like somebody's going to die with like, I mean, like there's people who want to probably complete tier sets and all sorts of stuff, right? There's always new challenges to come up with for the game.
Yeah, you want to get full. It's called BIS in the game now, but best in slot gear.
Yeah.
I guess that's like every game has it called that. But for anyone that's not necessarily fully a gamer, it's just like you want to get full best in slot gear on your characters. That's like a goal, and then eventually, I'm not even sure, because right now the goal is just to down the bosses, but eventually there could be speedruns in hardcore as well, which would be
crazy. Yeah,
insanely dangerous, high octane. It's just once you've done everything, you come up with the next challenge, and I think that's the coolest part also of WoW. Other than the social aspect, is like just doing that with your friends. It's like, what are we gonna do next? What's the next hard thing to do, and see if we can accomplish.
I mean, I'm wondering if there will be a, like you said, if there could be essentially a high octane, like we're gonna do like a speed run of, basically, or you do them all in one day, right? Like you basically down them, you do all of the raids in a single day.
Yeah. We did actually. This is something that me and my friends put together a while ago, where we actually announced the Hardcore Realms for WoW on the finale. But we did a tournament where players had a set group, and it was 6 people in each group, and you can use 5 people per dungeon, but you have to level up and still stay with the same group. And what they had to do on every one of these different events was clear through 4 to 5 different dungeons as fast as possible. So they would have a set level they could get to that was in kind of the middle ground, where the dungeons are doable in a safe way, but also really scary if you try to go fast. And so all of these teams, I think we started with 48 teams, had to speed run through all of the dungeons, and just through the first dungeons, the first week alone, was like 10 groups just wiping and having to restart, and like some of them giving up, some of them starting all over to make it to the next round. It's the speedrun scene is absolutely something that's doable within hardcore. That, and I think another one that's going to be really fun is they've actually added duels. We could duel at the end of our leveling, but you can duel to the death.
Oh, wow.
And if you lose, your character's done. Yeah. They call it the Makara. As in true World of Warcraft fashion, they have officially added duels to the death. I think it's one of the coolest things they added to the hardcore realms, is just being able to see if you can make it and defeat people. And there's a reward, like an aesthetic reward. You collect their ears of all of the people you've defeated.
Really? You collect their ears?
Yep. So you become the ear collector. And the only person I know that has multiple, maybe has the most, is a player named Zico, who's like a BlizzCon rank 1 PvP player. And he is awesome, but it's hilarious to see, because nobody wants to lose their character, especially at the higher levels, when you've leveled for like weeks just trying to make it, and then you do one duel and you lose and it's just gone.
Yeah. And does it say like the level of the character, the person that you killed?
It doesn't, but it'll show you how many ears you've collected.
Okay.
And I think they have to be within a level range.
Oh, to even duel.
Yeah, I think for it to be fair, but I do know that some people, as players do, some people found ways of making a high-level character and then making a low-level character with a very, very similar name. So they would challenge people to the duel, and you would think that you were just fighting someone normal, and then you wouldn't realize you were actually fighting someone with almost the same name, and like their high-level character would pop out from behind a wall or something and kill you.
That's annoying.
It is so annoying. Griefing is. I understand a lot of people love to play the game that way, but I feel like doing that just to like ruin someone's journey feels really bad.
It's just like, again, what are you doing? You're getting somebody to quit a game that you're playing too.
Yeah. But it is something that the devs anticipated, people trying to grief, but like there's always players in this day and age that will find better and new ways to grief. And I don't even know all of them, but it used to be, what it used to be on the unofficial Hardcore Realms was there's this one dragon that you could drag with you.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, you could bring him all the way to Stormwind or anywhere else, basically, and he would just breath everyone in front of him and kill him. So people would just be standing AFK in any of the main cities, and one person would spend 25 to 30 minutes just dragging this one dragon closer to the main city just to take people out. And you would like know, everyone would warn you in the social chat, and they'd be like, Teramis is coming, hide, everyone hide. And it was a bloodbath. It was an absolute bloodbath. So luckily they removed the possibility of you to even do that. But I think the devs knew that some people would find out other ways of doing it.
Yeah, that's just what, like, there are people who just love to grief other people.
What they live for.
I know,
There's
it's
Discord
weird.
servers for it.
Oh, really?
Maybe they're shut down now. I don't know. But there were. It was a whole thing. It was a whole community. And In normal classic, what you need to do is you need to get world buffs. I don't know if you remember this, but there's a very social interaction where if one group killed a boss like on Nixia. Yep. So now everyone groups up to get those world buffs, and like hundreds of players will be there if they know when the buffs are going to go out. Hundreds, maybe even I don't know, maybe thousands will be there just to receive this buff because it makes their characters so much more powerful.
Yep.
But back in the day, before hardcore, the thing you would do was there's some of these buffs you would spend a ton of time getting them all, and some of them are dispellable, which means one priest can be just hiding anywhere, or they can just be like hiding on their own corpse, and they can respawn and press one button, dispel, and it would remove 2 of your world buffs. And you would have to go through the journey. For some people, was like an hour plus to get those world buffs again.
Holy crud. And somebody's like, this is fun.
That's what people did. That's the way that the game was played. I got dispelled one time by a guy named Six Pack Chad, and that was his actual name on his character. And I got dispelled the one time I logged into my character, and I thought that I wasn't PvP flagged, but unfortunately I was, and I will never forget it because I was really sad.
Yeah, that sucks, dude.
Again.
That is not a fun experience.
What is your favorite memory of World of Warcraft, though?
When I got my Warlock mount.
Ooh, which one? Level 60 or level 40?
The level 60 one.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, back then, do you remember how much freaking epic mounts used to cost? And it was like way more expensive. Well, I mean, it's just so funny because gold was hard.
Yeah, gold was way more rare.
Yeah, and then yeah, we got to do like I also remember like very fondly the Cataclysm, when Cataclysm came out and leveling my first Draenei.
Mm-hmm.
So I was actually trying to go for world first, so I'd taken the time off, and like I remember going in there and people were going in there and like I was like on Cenarius, or at the time like I was like number 9 or something like that when I got close to hitting 60, and then basically something happened with my wife and I had to stop playing. But I was like, I remember getting on the boat when I was going back to train at Exodar, and I was like level 46, and there was like this level 6 dude. And he was like, why are you so, like, I was 46 already, right? And like these people, and then, yeah, because we were doing it in a group, like you had to do it in a group. So there was like a group of us trying to get me to go up there, and then Brenda got sick or something. I forgot what it was, but yeah, that was another good memory. We can actually, dude, I got this done.
We can turn it on?
I was going to let you finish putting it together, but yeah, the cable management's done. I've cleaned it up. I've made it look nice. Like, I've done all that stuff, dude.
All right, let me log this character out so it doesn't die. Although losing Sarthbald would not be the
the worst
thing in the world.
Worst thing that ever happened?
Yeah, actually, we should. He actually should go down. I'm coming over.
Okay, here we go. So, like, remember what it did look like. Here's what it looks like now. So this is...
I think this looks like how I did it.
Oh, yeah. No, it's like the only thing I did is I changed a couple cable, and then, again, this looks... Actually, it's all straight now. And then even the back, though...
No, this looks way better. It looks so beautiful. It's like so sleek and so clean.
So then even the back, and this was a little hard. There's a lot of cables to manage, but even the back here. So it's just it's all right here now.
Oh yeah. So it's all together instead of.
So it's all together everywhere. So it's all clumped together. So again, if you want to fix anything, it's really easy to find. And then all of these cables are just kind of put away nicely. But yeah, there it is. We'll go to a top-down view so you guys can see that. But yeah, I got it way cleaner looking in terms of, dude, before it was like just crazy. And then we just, now always the good sign is like being able to just go like that and then pop the back on.
Look at that, teamwork.
Teamwork.
Makes the dream work.
Yeah. Okay. Now, you want to go grab the front?
All right.
Grab the front and pop that back on.
There we go.
There we go.
And just slap it in there.
Slap it in there.
Bing. Oh, I missed. Never mind. Don't do that, guys.
Don't do that.
That was the opposite of what you do.
There we
Actually,
go.
kind of.
Okay, there we go. And then now what we're going to do is we get to officially mod workshop this up. So we're going to put on a sticker, or a decal.
Ooh.
So we have a couple decal options here. I feel like I forgot which one is good. Some of these are hard to use and some of these are not.
It's my first PC decal.
Okay, so let's grab, what we're going to do is we're going to grab our glass here. The back is already off. So what we're going to do, we're going to grab our glass, and I think this is just going right here. Probably makes the most sense. So we're going to lift this up, and then
Mod workshop.
mod workshop.
We did it.
Hopefully I do not need to have Tomber help me. Yeah, exactly. I could hear him, like I could hear his eyes roll.
I was like, we'll see about that.
Oh, it's working, it's working.
There you go.
Come on, stay on. Come on, stay on.
Almost. Whoa. Okay. All right.
Okay, so here's what you're gonna do. Because this is your, I mean, you built this, dude. All I did was cable management. Yeah, we built this, but you want to line that right up, and then like make sure it's straight.
Okay. It's straight.
Okay, and then you just want to, yeah, do a good job. Rub it on. Okay, put your tongue out and do it. So it looks like you're working really hard. There you go. Okay, now you should be able to, now slowly
Okay.
lift it up, and then hopefully it should all stick.
The W's on. We're starting strong.
So far, so good.
I need to have the patience. Okay. So far, so good.
So far, so good.
Root for us, guys.
I'm rooting for you.
This could be.
No, it came off.
Hardest
That was the
part.
one I was a little worried about.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But it seemed like it went no problem.
You know, after building a PC, you know, arts and crafts,
It is. That's essentially what we're dealing with right here.
the hardest part. That looks so good.
You did a good job, dude. You lined it just perfectly up.
Ha!
You did it. Okay, so let's clean this little bit up here. Okay, so let's put this back down because you got to do the final peel. There we go. Okay, there we go. Everything's ready.
Okay.
So now, if you want to pop that onto the front,
Okay. Where do we put? You have them there.
I got them.
There we go.
Okay, there you are, sir. Oh, it's not. You have to. It's gonna clap in.
Oh, will it?
Yeah, so it's like this. Hold on.
Let's.
I'll help you. What? This is where we teamwork. So you go like this, and then
Oh, I see.
there we go.
Okay.
And then pop that in.
See?
Teamwork.
Where would we be without each other?
Lost. Alone. Scared. Okay, so power cable's right there for you.
Let's go.
I did move some things, so hopefully if it doesn't power on, that's not your fault. That's my fault. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Flip the power switch. And 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's on.
Oh, there we go.
It was delayed. That like
was trying to scare us.
It did. It was like, what are you doing?
Just kidding.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh.
There it is. And it is
Look at
on, and it looks clean. Dude, this build cost $850. It does not look like an $850. It's a 800. It looks like a Panda. It's a beautiful Panda build, right? 850 bucks. Okay, so if you want to go to the front, dude, now you get to do the joy of the peel here. So you want to start in this corner and then start the peel process. No, right up here. Yeah, start it.
Ooh.
There we go. Here we go, guys.
The peel. The peel and the reveal. Look at that cooling system, too.
And there you go, guys. And remember, this, very appealing. I like it. This is going to be given away later date. So make sure to follow on Intel Gaming socials and the Intel Insider Discord for updates on the Discord, updates on when we're going to be giving this away. You can head over to discord.gg/Intel. All of your information will basically be there. Again, guys, we're using the brand new Intel Arc A750. Well, it's not brand new, but the newer Arc Intel A750. Basically, $250 less. You get all the latest visuals technology, XeSS, which is the AI enhanced image upscaling. You get real-time ray tracing, and you obviously get AV1 encoding, one of the least expensive cards to allow for AV1 encoding. Inside of the system, we got the Core i5-12400, the ASRock V660M Pro RS. We got the Intel Arc A750. We got a 2 terabyte Crucial P3 NVMe drive, tough RAM. We got 32 gigs of DDR4, 60 gigs of DDR4, and then we've got the Thermaltake S200 TG ARGB mid-tower chassis, and then finally for our cooler, the UX200SE from Thermaltake, as well as the Smart 600-watt PSU. And that is inside of it. And a partridge in a pear tree. It's got all of the critical parts inside of it. But there it is, guys. The build is done. And you guys can potentially win it. And if you were following along, hopefully you were able to build this exact same PC yourself. Again, very, very inexpensive. We'll do absolutely awesome 850, at 1080p gaming. And not just for that, but also for things like Valorant, World of Warcraft. You can play some COD, some Cyberpunk 2077, all those games that you have the option with, thanks to things like XeSS. But oh, it looks dapper. It does. I think it looks dapper.
Very proud.
Yeah. And yeah, with Starfield now they fixed the Intel Arc graphics, so you could play Starfield as well, Cassid. So anyway, guys, we are going to take another quick break. It is time for the race. The race. We're going to do the race. We're going to be jumping off. We're going to be playing some World of Warcraft, hardcore, seeing how far we can get. By 7:30, we'll have we'll have about 45 minutes to see how far we get.
And then we get to duel to the death.
And then we're going to duel to the death. That was an added thing that he put in, but we're going to put it in there and we're going to see what happens. Why not? You know, who cares?
Robey just agreed. I had to say it on camera, but he agreed, and we're doing it.
We're going to do it. So we're going to duel to the death when it is all said and done. Somebody will come away with some ears today.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we're going to take a break for about 8 minutes, and then we'll be back. Join us for some World of Warcraft. What is up, guys? We are here. I got to get my 1 hour of gaming in this week, so I appreciate getting the chance to actually get to play a little bit. We are live. We are going to be doing. It's lock on lock. That's the way it is. We're lock versus lock. We're going to be doing a race till 7:25. So exactly, it'll just be a little bit shy of an hour, and then we have a 5-minute duel to the death. I'm jumping in.
All right, I'm ready when you are.
Okay, I'm going in. I'm watching the intro, which I cannot hear. The other thing, too, is, guys, we have to play hardcore. We're playing hardcore, no sound hardcore.
What if I don't watch the intro?
Okay, we're going to not jump. We're just jumping in. Okay, here we are. We're in the game.
All right. I don't know if. Oh, sweet. We're on different layers, so we don't see each other.
We don't see each other.
That is also a thing in the game now. Is the layering system.
Yeah, which did not exist. It did not exist back in the old times. Back before this classic. Back when it wasn't classic, it was just regular. Like back in the old day where we were both basically there was no. Do you level up your main weapon skill?
You do. You still do.
No. I mean, but do you care? Like, have you? Gosh. Oh, somebody invited me to a guild already.
Me too.
It's probably the same dude. Like,
it's the same to Dad's.
Yes, it was. It slowed me down.
Thanks, Jarsh. Appreciate it. But we have a race to do.
Yeah, we do. And one of us is not going to be alive when this is all said and done.
Right? It's funny because notoriously my least played class is probably this one, Warlock. And it's one of my best friend's favorite.
I love this class. Oh, crap. I don't have auto loot on.
Floating combat text.
I don't even know why I'm locked. Well, I mean, you still got to worry about, you got to buy skills.
Enemy nameplates. There we go. All right. All right, we're going.
Dude. I'm already buffed, dude. I've got a cloak. You better watch out.
You've got a cloak.
I've got a ragged cloak. Oh, I've also got. You know what else I got? I got my freaking panda. Oh no, I got to turn it in. Crud.
Yeah. See, there you go. You don't have that. I
don't. I mean,
not today. You.
I just got to turn in. But I think the turn-in place is right here.
I don't even remember it being in, pets.
Yeah, I have them. Yeah, pets were at the very beginning because
Yeah, but they're in your inventory, and then you have the panda just sitting in your inventory, and you can't loot more things.
But then you still. Well, you have the gift no matter what. Because the gift is sitting there, so it's either the panda or the gift. No matter what, you got something sitting in your inventory.
Well, in that case, you're at a disadvantage.
I am.
You gotta get the
vanilla. Because of my vanilla collector's edition, I'm at a disadvantage here.
It's okay. Warlock v Warlock. I honestly think it'll be really easy in 1 hour to actually die. Realistically, it's kind of really easy to go down on a Warlock at this level.
Yes, it is. You are not wrong. Keep not looting.
That is. Did you turn on auto loot?
No, I need to.
It's one of the first things in interface options, but the interface options just changed very recently with the hardcore launch, actually. And now you can search things in there, so you can literally just search auto, and it'll come up very quickly. So that part is really nice.
That's nice that they go. Oh, I'm level 2 already.
All right. But are you level 3? Because I'm not either. I just hit level 2 also. We're in the same spot.
I just can't. I was like, am I level 3? No. How did you get to level 3 already?
Yeah, right. Not yet, but we'll see.
We'll see. It's a race. It's a very race.
My guild. My guild on hardcore is that guild that I was mentioning earlier. That's like the #1 guild on hardcore. And friend reached out, is like, it would be against the competitive spirit to have us boost you.
Thank you for keeping things the way that they need to be.
Just hop in and be like, all right, I'm just gonna get leveled up a little bit really fast, you know? All right.
You know, I just realized I'm not even doing the first quest.
I had a feeling. That's the thing I thought you would actually have the advantage over me on, is that I don't know these quests at all.
Dude, people are murdering these freaking wolves.
Yeah. I've never done... I've done a couple... I think I've gone to level 4 or something as a gnome. And then that's it in classic World of Warcraft. It was like, I don't know why. But now this is my chance.
This is your chance to show me up,
reign
because
supreme.
I am like behind already. I killed trogs and I wasn't even supposed to kill trogs. I was supposed to be killing wolves. I cared more about my panda, and I may have lost the game just because I didn't pay attention to my panda. Dude, I will tell you, man, I got a lot of people here killing a lot of wolves.
I actually have... Should I invite you? I've got a pretty clean layer. And
you're fine. Like,
it's a competitive advantage, for being honest.
competitive advantage is okay. If you come away looking better because of this, I'm okay with it. I really am.
Don't worry, the lucky thing is, like, the low-level Warlock duel will be like one person actually gets a crit and gets lucky.
Yeah.
And that's how it's over.
It's all gonna be based on luck by the time it's all said and done.
Yeah, exactly. Like, does someone find a wand? I don't even know.
I don't know if there
We'll
are
have
wands.
time.
Yeah, I don't even know if there are wands at this level.
Yeah.
I think the earliest one is like level 10.
You can get a level 6, maybe level 4 crafted ones. And there's level 6 rare ones that drop. But you'd have to be so insanely lucky to find them, like, right at.
Because a wand would actually make a massive difference in terms of, did this guy literally just kill? Oh. Let's see. Dude, come on. Come on, dude. Don't you know I'm in a race?
Yeah,
It's a race.
It's a race.
It's level 5 is the lowest. Somebody coming in clutch on the.
Level 5 is the lowest wand.
Yeah. Somebody coming in clutch with the.
I'm the exact person who doesn't do who doesn't play casters in classic WoW. I'm like always a melee class, so I'm always a rogue or a warrior or a hunter. So I'm glad you picked Warlock for us, because hunter would have been really unfair in the time limit.
Yeah, it's just like this is like, but this is like, if I'm gonna get nostalgic, I might as well get nostalgic in the right way. Okay,
Yeah, what you did originally.
Safe travels.
Not enough mana.
Off with you.
I gotta go talk to the Warlock trainer.
How are you? Be good.
Ooh, already talking to the Warlock trainer. I think you get, like, corruption or... No, maybe immolate?
I don't remember. All I know is I got rabbit claws and a panda. I'm definitely gonna be more geared out than you. That is for sure.
What's on your
You have rabbit claws, a panda, but do you have bracers? Hello?
I just sold my bracers.
All right, well, see, mistakes were made.
Probably. That's gonna be the thing that keeps you from getting the crit at the end.
Yeah. What we need really is, like, a big thing would actually unironically be, like, if someone gets a weapon, a good weapon, like a dagger,
Greetings. You have
would
a good
actually
day
make it
now.
pretty solid.
Seeing you. Daylight's
Here we
burning.
go,
Off and
and
away.
yes.
Oh, that's right, because we could have our imp.
I think, wow, that's how little I've played this class. I think Voidwalker's level 10 and Imp is level
No, you can get it now.
2? You can
Yeah,
get it already?
Get it now.
Well, that's going to make you catch up to me then. Mistakes were made round 2.
The thing is, you have to remember, like, it's right, because we're also playing we also have no
Add-ons.
add-ons. So it's like, yeah, we're going to have to go, like, it's like, I could kill the trogs, but I think, oh, dude, let's kill the trogs.
I don't know where the other trogs are.
I do. I know where all the trogs are. I do get the bonus of knowing that stuff and the mail delivery.
I don't know where the Imp I don't know where the trainers are. I don't know where the trogs are. This is Is this the right?
Frog door.
I know I've found one version of Trogs, but I need to kill the Rockjaw Trogs. No.
You're killing the burly.
Yeah, I killed the Burly. Those, but wouldn't usually the lower rank ones would be like closer to you, but I'm getting a little further away right now. It's worrying me.
Dude, I don't blame you because it's like I'm trying to remember too, and we have like no add-ons, so we don't have like quest tracker or anything like that on. So it's like this is all like me getting like reaching back from like the memories of ye old day.
Remember when people had to read the quests? Imagine. There's some add-ons now, like AI add-ons that read the quests for you.
Oh, really? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, they like have voices that'll do it. I think that's really awesome. Yeah. Okay, let's see.
Did you find him?
No. Wow. Take some time to read the memorandum.
Oh,
and talk to Alamar. Did you already get your imp?
No, you have to kill some stuff to get the feathers for it.
Oh.
It's like there's a next step, but I feel like I need to because if I like that is going to be a massive advantage in our duel. So if you have an imp firing like mad core.
I think the imp is like a massive advantage right now. It's like almost worth it to go get. That's what I'm not telling you my strategy. Never mind.
Go ahead.
Imps are not even.
You should not use imps. Imps are the worst idea ever. What are you doing getting imps right now?
Daggers are great. They hit for 2 damage each. Wow, this is the.
Why
best.
do you not? Why are you not just doing that? Yeah.
Right. Auto.
Oh, I do have bracers. Okay, good.
Let's go. You. Let's see if that works. All right, you have bracers, and I've got not bracers.
Not bracers.
Early rock, jaw trog. All right, now I need to read this quest. Where are the trogs? Here. I hear the buggers have been popping up all across the lands. That's helpful. Over the hills to the southeast and near the frozen lake. Okay, that is unironically helpful a little bit.
Unironically?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I don't know why that's my word. That's my word of the day.
Alive. That's the problem.
Do you have a lot of people killing things on your layer?
Well, yeah, but the problem is that this one in particular is going to be brutal because the troll cave is always like the worst for this level.
Ooh. But also with more people on your layer, it gets scary because their
spawn is way faster.
Yes, exactly, which is gonna be actually terrifying. That's where I think it's a lot easier to die before level 10 on hardcore than it is to die at like past like level 20. Like up to level 13 is like usually like
where mistakes can be made.
Yeah. Or like there's less things you can do to save yourself if anything goes wrong. That's for sure.
It's a dual pool.
Mage trainer. Okay.
Need assistance?
Demon trainer. Grimoires. I don't even remember any of that.
Have a great day now. Salutations.
Oh, it is. Oh my. Alright. We started off a little bit behind, but we're gonna catch up now.
No. Be good.
Where did this guy sit? Beginnings. Must be New York. Don't worry, I won't hold it against you. Bring me feathers. The cave to the southwest.
Dude, I have to find the novices though. That's the problem.
Is that even the same? Oh, you're at the cave right now?
Yeah, but I'm trying to find the novices. I wonder if they're out. They must be outside.
No, they're not. Southwest is there, but that's just straight south. We're gonna find out if I'm going in the right direction, or if I'm just run into a completely different cave. Old Ridge. Ooh.
Oh, dude, a priest just gave me.
That's still recharging.
You got fortitude buff?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, alright. I see how it is. Don't worry. There's this thing in Wrath of the Lich King right now where you can level your character. Like, by far the fastest way to level is to have a druid buff you with thorns because it scales with spell power, and so it just like instantly kills anything that attacks you.
That seems not fair.
Yeah, one shots literally everything, so it makes it very, very trivial. Burly Rockjaw Trog.
Found him.
Ooh, hi, buddy. Finally. Don't even worry. Now we're cooking.
You are. That's why you're so hard to get. Oh, that's not fun.
Okay, Troll Whelp. Frostbane Troll Whelp. What did
Come on.
the Warlock quest ask us to do?
Die.
From the Frostbane novices from the cave.
You're gonna drink because they just keep running out of mana so fast.
That is actually, there's a level 7 human warrior here for some reason.
He's here to buff you. I see how it is. You're cheating already.
He wouldn't be able to. Alright, this is dangerous. I'm going into the cave.
The cave is no joke, dude. Cave is no joke.
I don't see novices. I don't want to go further into the cave. I'm afraid.
You should be.
I don't know if it's worth it. I mean, I should eventually, and it'd be good to get the...
Oh, dude, resist. What are you doing? No.
Alright, I'm going for it. Whatever. Because there's another guy in here. We're both going for it. Everyone's low levels in here.
This
How
is
did
like
they
that's because this is like the place to be.
I can't pass that yet.
Resist. Alright.
I know, that's the thing.
If we get any, like, 2 enemies to spawn at once on us, it's gonna be like, alright, well, it's over.
You're doomed. Like at that point in time, you are. I mean, like literally, it's just like it's the worst situation.
Felix's box. Stole my chest, box, and bolts. They took them to their camp southwest. What the heck? Frostbane novice. Alright. Finally. I found one.
Yeah, I've got 2. I need one more.
But we're gonna need water.
Yeah, that was my problem. It's like eventually you're just like, I need. Stop resisting. Worst.
Might have even sold my water too. Might have screwed myself. I didn't realize how useful it would be.
Yeah, I know, but you're like, when you're so spell dependent, right?
Yeah. So used to like just not using it at all and like being a warrior.
I am definitely using it. Oh, you mean water? Yeah.
Yeah, you're not needing water ever, you know.
Come on, stop resisting my shadow bolts.
Well, oop. Gherkin.
Die! Die!
Where the heck are these guys? I have only found one novice this entire time. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Just got my 3rd.
But don't worry, because I did just get a piece of water, so we are fine.
Spider guy, stop inviting me to guilds.
Spawned right behind me. You're unlucky.
Dude, somebody clear the... Oh, you're the best who ever cleared this cave. You are awesome. Thank you.
For your way out?
Yeah, somebody cleared the whole way out. So it's like, all I have to do is like...
I have a feeling...
I got a feeling...
I have a feeling like something's gonna respawn and I'm just gonna like die at level 4 and be like, alright, well... Now I have to restart resisting. Yep. Alright. Now we have to look around and pretend to be safe.
Gotta get the... Okay.
Tyrone! Tyrone just ran right by me. He didn't want to help.
Why would Tyrone do that to you, dude?
Right? I thought we were boys.
I thought, didn't you invite him to the wedding?
Of course I did. He was my best man.
He's like, dude, Tyrone.
He's level 4. He's just pumping. He's out of here. He doesn't need us.
He's like, I'm already max level.
Yeah.
You and your wasteful scenario.
All whelps. Whelps. More whelps. These novices are hiding from me. Oh, and there it is. There's the spawn. All right.
I got a new rope.
Okay.
Oh, I don't need a burly.
I have to just keep looking around me. Make sure there's one. Okay.
I'm out of range.
Thank God I found the low level freaking trolls. They were like not easy to find.
You got them actually really quickly. I literally searched the entire cave and found one novice. The whole cave.
Oh really? Did you get? But it sounds like you got some on the spawn.
One just spawned, yeah, or 2. I just found 2 that respawn. Now I need to see if I have the mana to take them out. I have no water. Boom! Tactical ding.
It's always the best, right?
Yeah, can I defeat 2 of them though? That's my new question.
I need more mana.
I like how this random wolf is just watching me. He's like, yeah, you know what? You do your thing.
Yeah, I'll just hang out.
I'll just hang out while
here.
you kill this other troll. It's fine. Troll. There we go, and then I can go start.
I'm out of range.
Okay, I didn't pull that. Sweet. I might as well, since I'm here, finish the troll quest.
Yeah, I couldn't get that until I got the pull. I went in too low to have that quest.
Oh,
So I had basically killed a lot, not
having the other
having
quest?
the actual quest. So which is kind of sad, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's like, at least I'm double dipping by having to run through the entire cave and kill like everything I see. So that's good.
Yeah, that's actually a nice bonus for you.
All right, here we go. Got some water too, and I just need to kill 5 more of these guys, and then we're done with the trolls forever.
See you soon.
And I'll have a pet to hang out with me, a friend that can kind of carry as I dagger things.
Yeah, the pet that honestly the feather charm is going to be having the imp is going to be a big bonus for you.
That'll be a lot faster, especially when you run out of mana and you're just sitting there and you have like you're daggering things, you're hitting them for 2 damage. Like, oh, should I go in further? I guess so.
Can I help you?
There's the respawn.
Right. Off and away. You have a great day now.
All right, we're hiding up here.
I got my imp.
All right, now's your time to catch up to me by killing all of the whelps.
Yeah, I know. I got to do it all over again.
Yes. You have to kill all of the trolls, but don't worry, at least you have, it's gonna be like twice as fast, more. Okay. That's the fear of not having sound on. I was zoomed in, and as I was casting on one troll, another one just popped up right behind me. Okay, you're
Yeah, I can still hear you a little bit, but
yeah, a tiny bit, right?
yeah, but it's not what we need.
Let's see. I don't know if that was worth it to attack this guy without mana. Alright. 2 more. Let's wait.
gotta kill a lot of freaking trolls, dude.
Yeah,
that's
14. 14. I did not know that. I've never done that quest.
that's like really long. That's like a lot.
Yeah. I don't even, like, if you're on like the in the human zones or like any of the other zones, it's like kill 6 of these, you know? And that's a struggle. Like if this day 1 of launch, when there was like thousands of people right here all trying to just get one hit on something,
Yeah, dude,
14 would have
Yeah, and the other thing too is like, yeah, you don't have a very good tag skill for.
No, you sit there and you try to hit him with your dagger.
Right with you.
All right,
Watch,
this is
get her
my
back.
guy.
Ain't good.
This is numero 14. Done.
All back. Oh, dude, I forgot. This is before.
Oh yeah, is it brutal?
No, I just
Now I'm on a mission.
No, I forgot that corruption is an instant in freaking classic.
Oh yeah, you have to talent it to be instant. It's like in the affliction tree. So it's, I don't know, a second cast? I think you,
It's really long.
oof.
And so it's like, I was like, oh, this will be a great tag skill. Never mind, I forgot they talented it in.
Not worth it. And it actually doesn't tag until the
First
tick.
tick.
Yeah. In classic. So
Which I mean, the tag, which could be pretty fast. I mean, but like not when you have to fail forever. So
yeah, it's
I spent the wrong silver.
decently long. It'll be good for our duel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I can get it off.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. I'm gonna kill it. What is this new thread? Stolen journal.
Dude, it makes this way faster.
Yeah, I'm literally considering just running back and going in and getting the imp really fast. Once you kill Gurglock of the Cold. Actually, yeah, I think I am gonna use this mana up and then go get my imp.
Dude, so many freaking boards you gotta kill here too.
Yeah, 12 also. Like what?
Dude,
It's so high.
It was so grindy. Like I just keep forgetting how grindy this game was when it came to like.
I think this zone is like the worst of it though for starter levels. I've never seen it like this really. Maybe I've just got like rose-colored goggles, but I feel like the human zone. It's like you'll I think there's 12 red leather bandanas you need to get.
Yeah, I remember that.
But like other than that, everything else is like really quick. But yeah, the imp must make this a lot easier. So that's on the list.
Yeah, so you also have to find your strategy of like what can you do to like so you don't have to pause and drink.
That's why if we were playing Hunter, it would be very, because Hunter can shoot things and melee like another target at the exact same time, basically, which is like the way you move really quickly. So like a good Hunter levels up a lot faster than
A lock.
anything early on even. So, all right, there we go. Boom. Summon this guy. Get over here.
Get over.
Who sells water? Warrior trainer, hunter trainer, rogue trainer. Dude, water. Where's the water guy? Water guy? Paladin trainer? You're not a water guy? That. Where do you get water?
Sells water. Just give me water.
I actually have no idea where you get water here.
It's right in the front. It's out in the end. It's right when you walk outside of the building. It's the same place where you started the first.
Oh,
place.
okay.
There's a general vendor there.
All right, good.
I'm trying to help. I'm not.
Yeah. Thank you. Look, you're setting me up for success.
We got to make sure the duel is worth watching. You know.
All right. Oh, I could literally afford 5 waters. That was not huge, but not nothing. Okay.
Board's done. just gotta go kill. I gotta go do what you already did, which was with the trolls. Somebody just made level 60. Does it just announce when somebody makes 60?
Yeah, it's a server-wide announce.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Now, which is, yeah, pretty nice.
Off with you.
So,
Glad to meet you.
initially it was just so people knew, and there's log, like you can get a thing called like death logs, an add-on that will pop up whenever someone dies, and it'll also say like their last words. So it'll say like what killed them, where they died, at what level, and like their last words are like, oh, some of the funny ones are like, you think I could do this? I could probably do this. And it's like, and they did. They could most definitely not do that.
To meet you.
That's very
Good.
So that's the
You got my attention. See you soon.
Wait, an ammo? Dude, I wish I wouldn't have done this. Oh, well. Okay, I guess I'll do it now. I can sell all this stuff and buy.
Okay. Loot you. Options. Keybinds 5. You're going there then. And you're coming back. Okay. Pretty terrible.
We're getting it.
Alright.
Oh, there's a hold my beer? Oh, that's kind of funny.
We're getting faster. Oh, having an imp is much.
I know, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, this is what we were missing out on. This is what we needed. Alright, now we can search for these Trogdors.
Trogdor.
Here's the question, what level are you?
I am level 4.
Ooh, me almost 2. I'm level 5.
Off with you. Watch your back.
But I got lucky by showing up to that place with the quest.
Yeah, that one made a big difference.
Where the heck are the other Trogs?
Are you still looking for those Trogs?
Yeah, did you kill them all?
Oh yeah. They're near the starting area where the first wolves you killed were.
Oh. That's I would like literally anticipate that too. I'm like, they should be closer.
Yeah, they're right.
the
They're right.
beginning,
They're right near the
but-
start.
What can I do?
Whatever. I guess
Keep your
the perks of not knowing this zone. Yeah. All right. Let's go.
How are you?
Oh.
Watch your back.
What quests do I have? Oh, I should go do this. Why not? Let's go.
So I got the whelps. I gotta get the toolboxes.
Ooh, do you know where those are?
Yep.
See? All right.
Have you already done them?
No, I have no idea.
Oh yeah. They're right.
I'm never gonna find them.
Oh, they're actually pretty easy. They're right near where you killed the trolls.
But is it in? Because there's
No,
one of them
They're
there.
not in the cave. They're on the outside.
All 3 of them are out there.
Yep.
In front of the same cave.
Yep.
Okay. All right. There we go. I was like, I thought it was now gonna be like all of them are at different. Like one is at a hut and one's at the other hut and one's in.
No, they're all at huts. One's in front of the cave and then the other ones are in front of huts.
Oh, okay. So they are at huts.
Yeah.
All right. I'll check the huts.
Yeah. Jabba the huts.
Yes.
Luckily, there was whelps out here too.
That's actually perfect. But then you're gonna have to go back in there.
Maybe. It's like you gotta kill 14. But we'll have to see. There's a lot of trolls by the huts. Corruption. Oh, there's 5.
Should I use corruption? What is your cast time? 35 mana, 2-second cast.
Yeah, it's not. I would tell you no. It's not.
It's more expensive than Shadow Bolt. 40 damage. It's technically double the damage of Shadow Bolt, so
But it takes so long.
I mean it's mana efficient, but It's definitely going to be useful in the duel. I would say use corruption in the duel.
Yeah, because it actually ticks really powerful. If you
Yeah.
take it off.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it'll actually do damage there. And really, us having armor won't affect anything in the duel against each other since we're just going to be using spells. So unless someone finds something that's like +1 stamina, we're going to have the exact same abilities and everything's going to be the exact same.
I can't pass that yet.
Alright, and you're going to carry me. You got this, buddy.
Yeah, you do not have to go in. The good thing is you do not have to go into the cave to get the... Honestly, I would say it's kind of fun to do the race because the race actually like adds some like anticipation. We're just much more friendly racers because we're like,
Yeah, no, we're like, I hate you. I'll take you out. But we're just actually enjoying it, and like, it'll be fun to see how it goes at the end. You know?
yep.
I have a strategy. That's a lie. I don't. Really lie. Haven't really thought much about it, but I'm like, you know, I've got anticipation.
It's like my thing is just to kill as many people as we can and then see how far we can get.
We have 13.
13, yeah, we're like
13.
It's 7:25. That's when we call it.
All right, we have to 13 minutes. I can get to level 6. Let's go. Come on, level 6. That's the easiest level anyone's ever reached. All right. I actually don't. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% confident I can get level 6, but
It's gonna be hard. Like
think
there's
so.
actually a lot to get before.
just the whole fact that imps, not imps, that I like that we didn't get our imp for so long is what really set us back at the beginning, right? The imp
Yes.
like is so powerful.
But the other thing too is this. I mean, this game isn't really made to race. You know what I mean? Like it's. So it's like it's funny. It's like we're min-maxing in some ways, which is like something you just actually really enjoy.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think I can buy anything from him. All right, we're just going in. I'm going for it. Actually, I did use my Hearthstone. Oh no.
Use your Hearthstone.
I did. I was trying to be
Sneaky.
a little bit more efficient, but now I have to get the burly trogs, and I have to go back in the cave to kill the boss of the cave.
Yeah, the boss of the cave is like no joke.
Yeah, so that's the question. Is he worth it? Maybe? Nice solid Maba?
Yeah, nice solid maybe.
Yeah. I mean, a little yes, a little no. We're gonna go for it. Oh! Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come
Oh,
on.
I gotta get
Come on.
more whelps.
Okay.
Nice. Perfect. You guys hang out there. By the way, I think the first hardcore death I had was on that boss.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
As a mage, like, or yeah, I think I was playing a mage. It was not pretty.
It like any of these little like the enemies that you run into, any of them can just take you down so easily, and that's like a intimidating thing when it's like just that simple to die, especially on a caster like a mage or a warlock. You can just like you're so weak at the beginning that it's like anything can take you out. Oh buddy. Oh buddy.
And the thing is he actually has 3 dudes next to him. So he's like not alone. Now, if you're lucky, there's other people there, and that like the other 2 will not have spawned. But he's hard to pull without pulling other people.
Am I gonna lose this battle? Maybe. Alright, there we go.
It's all coming back to me slowly.
Me too. I'm slowly. Now that I have a pet, I can send the pet on one enemy and I can run to the other one. That's good. That's how we can get this guy. He does have friends.
I know, that's the thing, is like he is not a joke.
All right. I have an idea. I know what I'm doing.
That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet.
Did this guy just cast a heal? He did, bruh. Chill. The heck was that? All right, I got him. Easy.
Got him. Good job, dude.
Yeah.
That guy's not.
Goodbye. Sweet. All right. Graylin Whitebeard. He's a pirate. And now we have. Okay. I might be able to do it. If I can kill the Trogs by the time we're ready to duel, I think I can do it.
Hit 6.
Yeah. That's the real differentiator. Is I don't even know what you can train at level 6 for a warlock.
I don't know. I mean, actually the game changer would be if you could get fear.
Oh, there's no way you can get that yet. That's got to be like level
10 or something.
Yeah, like 14 or something. Maybe even higher. It might be, but I got a feeling. Alright, 4 Trogs. Time to find them. In 8 minutes, 4 Trogs. Psh. Everyone knows where those guys are. Rockjaws. That is fun.
Yeah,
I swear I only see
I'm doing the quest that you just did.
You going for Grelin?
Yeah, I'm killing the boss right now. Ooh, I got a bag.
That's actually that used to be like the best thing that could possibly happen in the starting zone for a hardcore run, because you weren't able to trade anything with people, right?
Yep.
That was like huge to get a bag. But now it's less massive, but it's still a big one. So still nice. Now people just send themselves like 100 gold right as they start a new character. Burly.
There's a lot of them.
Burly. Okay. Alright, burly. Heck. Burly. Okay, this is looking real the opposite of promising. I do not have any idea where I'm going for this. Please.
Like, dude, you are the best. Happened to be here when another hunter showed up and he killed the other guy.
He just helped you?
He just not without knowing, not by knowing it.
That's still recharging.
I love that. All right, you're safe. Imagine not using a /target macro. That's what Black Reaper whispered me. He died like 10 times on the way to level 20.
What did he say?
He said, imagine not using a /target macro, but imagine dying so many times.
He's giving you.
You can't say that one.
Giving you grief.
Yeah, you died. He said all my deaths have been 30 plus, but I know that's a lie for a fact. Imagine. Shake my head. All right, I found all the Trogs. Psh, I could duel you right now.
You already hit 6?
I'm about to.
Dude, you must have killed way more than I did, right? Because like I've done that quest, and this. Oh, how many times? Oh yeah.
I have been killing everything as I run, and just like running away from it and let my pet deal with it. So I'll throw like a couple dots. I've actually thrown both dots, which probably isn't even necessary. And just always trying to like move towards whatever's next. Also, if I had a target macro for Rockjaw Trog, it wouldn't work because the name of the other mob is Burly Rockjaw Trog. It has the name in it. It would be.
You'd have to like completely spell it out.
Now I think you could do it with quotation marks, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, boom. Level 6. First level 6 gnome character ever. Let's go. All right, now I'm ready for you. I'm ready for you at any time. Whenever you want, I will take you down.
Well, I still got 5 minutes.
No, you do. You've got time. I'm just saying, whenever you need to lose,
I mean, right now it would be bad.
I am here.
Hi, how are you? Can I help you?
No. And what have I learned? Life tap? That's
That would be the opposite of what to
not
learn.
gonna save me.
Life tap would be not what you want to learn.
There's a streamer, one of the biggest classic WoW streamers in the entire world. Actually, right before the official hardcore launch, his character was really geared, a really geared warlock on the unofficial hardcore realms, and he life tapped. And then there's an ability that, or like an item that gives you mana but does damage to you at the same time, called Dark Rune. And he life tapped and Dark Runed at the same time at level 60, right before raid. And he was super geared, and he just killed his own character. R.I.P. to Guzu. It felt bad watching that. It was rough. All right, I will grab life tap though. I'll put it on my bars, just in case. All right, I'm ready for you. I'm sitting here, I'm hanging out. Let's see, you can go there. How hard is this? I have 130. Yeah, I have like 130 HP. That's, I want to say worth it, but I'm not sure. We're gonna find out whenever you're ready. You have 2 minutes. You gonna do it?
Yeah, I'll make it.
Okay. I'll let you go. You can train too. So it can be a fair.
It'll be a fair 6v6 fight.
Yeah, level 6 versus level 6. Who gets to resist? We'll find out today. What's your character's name?
Robeytech.
All right.
I mean, I got super creative.
It's okay. I went with Sarth Gnome. I have like. I have so many characters that are like Sarth X, Sarth XX, Sarth DK, Sarth Mage. Like, I used to back in the day, like in original WoW, all of my characters had unique names, and like I would think of a name that was like something majestic, you know, or something fantasy. But now, it's just all become the same.
It's just like everybody is like basically that one character.
Yeah. And then if I name something else, like something else, and when someone finds out it's Sarth, they're like, what? XX Sarth XX. You're right, I have that.
Oh, and you're like, oh, and people are like surprised that you actually have that name?
No, I have.
Oh, that you're like, oh yeah, that you're like, oh no.
Like 2000s like gamer tags. I have all of those. Oh my god.
You know what? Actually, when I turn in this quest in like 2 seconds, it may not be enough. You may have won.
Where are you?
I'm at Keranos.
You ran all the way there?
Well, that's because I have the one quest that I think is going to give me the ding.
Do you have Hearthstone up?
No. So I use mine to get over there and get it. So we'll see if this actually gives me my ding or not.
I'm running to you
Glad to
then.
meet you. See you soon.
Oh, it gave me the ding.
It did, but
did.
is there a lock trainer there?
Yes.
All right. I'm coming to you.
I don't know where.
I'm coming to you, brother.
Okay, let me find that.
Hello.
Oh, that's a stable master. Let me ask
Trees on the
I thought
ground.
there was a lock trainer here. I'm pretty sure there is.
What's on your mind?
Okay, perfect.
Oh, no, I don't want that.
By the time I get there, you better be ready to duel to the death.
Oh yeah, wait, the warlock trainer is like right over here.
Who knows? Is it right over there? I don't know.
Yeah, there's a pet.
I've never leveled here.
There's the tradesman.
There's no point in me grabbing these quests. Why am I doing?
I remember the.
Do I go? Yeah, I go through this tunnel. Like, how do I get out of here?
Well met.
You have to fight your way out through the tunnel?
Yeah.
Safe
Oh my
travels.
gosh.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. There's.
You're gonna have to run this way to meet me. Alright. Maybe there's not that many enemies. We'll see how many. I can make it through this tunnel to you in 3 minutes. Maybe. I'll see.
Pleased to meet you.
I'm trying to get through the tunnel as fast as possible.
You're fine.
Potentially not the safest way. It's okay. I think I made it. I made it! Alright.
I did the same thing. I just ran through. I knew I had like.
Alright. If you've trained, run towards me so we can meet together.
I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna train anything else.
Well, you have 10 seconds.
I guess at this point in time, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, right. I mean, Curse of Weakness,
Well, I have.
you can choose yourself.
Okay, I'm ready. I got all the stuff.
All right, I'm coming. I'm a coming.
Okay.
And this is it. This is gonna
This is
be
the end.
your first ever duel to the death after building
Where
a
did you
piece.
go? Oh, you're way over. Dude, you're like so far away.
No, I'm headed there. I didn't leave the starting area.
Oh.
Yeah, I was all the way at the beginning. Oh, there's bears and stuff. Oh my god.
I'm almost to you. I'm walking to you too. We're
All
coming
right,
to you.
I'm running along the road because
Yeah, it's just safer.
yeah,
It's like you got.
I'm just
There's nothing else.
yeah. Let's do this.
Let's just get what we're gonna do.
All right, guys, chat. If you think I'm gonna lose my first ever Warlock duel,
I think you're gonna win, but we'll find out.
type a 1. I can't see chat right now, but type a 1 in chat. And if you think I'm gonna win and you're rooting for me, you can type a 2. I'm giving myself number 2 just for the sake of it. Okay?
Okay, here we go. We're close.
All right, Robey, I'm coming. You're gonna have to type out. I think I accept. Oh, I agree. I agree.
What do you do?
Do you see the little
Okay.
little thing come
Okay,
up?
here we go.
That's
I agree.
all right.
I need a target. I don't have a
Go,
target.
go, 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 go.
Isn't ready yet.
You resisted my corruption. Oh no, corruption's not worth it anymore. I think I just lost. No way.
I won! I won! I won! I won!
Oh my god.
I can't believe, kids, dude, once you resisted the corruption, because the other thing too is like, you interrupted my spell. And so I couldn't, like, I was like, crap, and then the corruption resist, and then, wow. Dude, I'm like literally like shaking, because it was like legit.
That was
a
great.
duel. I didn't get your ear, though.
Yeah, I think we need to be level 10 or higher. Maybe it might be 19 or something to get the ears.
It was still fun.
That was great. GG's.
I mean, it would have
You
been
did
sad
it.
because Robeytech would have been like, your body is just there. It makes me sad.
I can't do
you were my,
anything. I
you were
can
my
click try
friend.
again.
You were my friend.
You
You were
know,
my friend.
the real adventure was the friends we made along the way.
With that, he's dead. No, cry.
And now this character will live on here forever.
Like his.
Robeytech 1-0 in Makaraz. Sarth literally 0-0 in Makaraz. I haven't done any other Makaraz right now.
That was like your
so-
first one.
Yeah, it was the first duel of death I did. And we lost.
Okay. Okay, guys. Well, I think that is it for today's show. I want to say a huge shout out to obviously everybody for hanging out today. If they want to follow you, where do they do that? How do they do that? If they want to watch you, TikTok is a big one, right? Like what?
Yeah, if you want to see non-World of Warcraft content, that's all over TikTok. So, like, if you want to see me play Starfield or learn tips and tricks for things like Starfield, Cyberpunk, the new Spider-Man, I'm probably going to go buy a PlayStation 5 tomorrow for a new Spider-Man.
So you do all the games.
Yeah, so TikTok's all of the tips and tricks for everything, and then YouTube, it's just Sarth, as well as Twitch, just Sarth, and those are mostly World of Warcraft. So if you want those, make sure to follow me there if you guys want to see me play there. If you want to watch the Race to World First, ICC, it's going to happen on October 12th, and we are going to get World First on my stream, so be there.
That's going to be amazing, Sarth. Dude, it has been absolutely amazing, guys. Huge shout out to Intel for letting us be a part of this, for us getting to play games, for you building a PC, and dude, first time turn it on, it just worked.
That was sick. Robey, thank you for leading me through that, man.
This was super fun. Anyway, guys, that is it for Intel Workshop. Have a great night, and we will see you guys on the next episode. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.